that wanted to leave, departing for the north. Exactly how many fled is not entirely clear. Reuters, however, reported that from the Israeli-held side of the frontier, they could see large numbers of cars and trucks packed with people withdrawing from a village on the Syrian side. This withdrawal leaves just a handful of towns held by the Islamic State along the southern border outside of government control and presumably the next targets of the offensive. Are you looking for a cryptocurrency that has a focus on users and usability? Then look into Zencash. Zencash has the ability to use both transparent and shielded transactions, with shielded transactions using zero-knowledge proofs. Zencash features global governance with inclusive decision-making, reliable funding for continuous improvements, and documentation and wallets in many languages that are available for Linux, Mac, Windows, and Android devices. Learn more at Zencash.com. That's Zencash.com. UPI reports an independent investigation into sexual assault allegations against a now-deceased sports doctor at Ohio State University has uncovered more than 100 former students who said they were abused, according to a statement by the school on Friday. The accusers, including both athletes and patients at Student Health Services, said Dr. Richard Strauss committed acts of sexual misconduct between 1979 and 1996. Other patients of Strauss's private practice, which was started in 1996, also lodged complaints against him. Investigators interviewed more than 200 former students and university staff as part of the probe and intended to talk to 100 more. The investigation is being carried out by Perkins Cole LLP, an international law firm that has been in communication with the Franklin County Prosecutor's Office. The investigatory team said it also plans to review whether Strauss examined any high school-age students during his time at The Ohio State University. Strauss died in 2005. You can support FPP Radio by joining the Fans program. Fans are friends, allies, and numerous supporters. Fans help FPP afford to produce more original content. You can join the Fans program for as little as $1 per month through Patreon and get perks like ad-free versions of FPP Radio News and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio. To learn more or to join the Fans program, visit fans.fppradio.com. Reuters reports Ohio Governor John Kasich on Friday commuted the death sentence of a convicted double murderer after a former juror in the man's trial asked that he not be put to death because the panel was not given key information during the sentencing about his troubled childhood. Kasich said there were fundamental flaws in the sentencing for Raymond Tibbetts and ordered him to serve life in prison without the possibility of parole. The governor's office said in a statement, the defense's failure to present sufficient mitigating evidence, coupled with an inaccurate description of Tibbetts' childhood by the prosecution, essentially prevented the jury from making an informed decision about whether Tibbetts deserved the death penalty. Earlier this year, Kasich halted the execution to consider a letter from former juror Ross Geiger. In the letter, Geiger said there was no question Tibbetts committed the murder, but factors about the defendant's upbringing were omitted or distorted by prosecutors in the trial's sentencing phase. Geiger said several years after the trial, he read a publicly available clemency report from 2017 that showed a history of abandonment for Tibbetts starting at age 2, and that of the 4 siblings, one committed suicide, another spent time in prison, and another is essentially homeless. He faulted the defense team for not calling the one sibling of Tibbetts who is leading a stable life and was willing to testify during the sentencing about the difficult childhood they all shared. Geiger said Tibbetts deserves to be in prison, but based on what he knows today, I would not have recommended the death penalty. Aaron Barnhart, an attorney for Tibbetts, said the jury was deprived of crucial information about his client's abusive upbringing. Clemency has been granted in 288 cases since the U.S. Supreme Court reinstated the death penalty in 1976, with the bulk coming from states that eventually repealed the death penalty. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
In an unsettling video released over the web this week, Buddhist extremist cell Kamathana vowed to unleash a massive wave of serenity and nirvana all across the West. Members of the group threatened to implement such severe measures as tranquil chanting, meditation sessions, and eye-opening koans, and assured U.S. leaders of the group's absolute commitment to engulfing Americans in complete and unyielding enlightenment. Here now is a clip from the video.
We will not cease until every city, from New York to London, succumbs to a state of spiritual harmony. Prepare yourself.
Sources confirm that the Pentagon responded to the film by ordering immediate tactical bombings throughout Tibet. And in tech news, the inventor of the Gromdar says he's determined to put a Gromdar in every American home. In other news, a woman who had almost formed a healthy sense of self joined social media, and an area man can remember exactly where he was and what he was doing when he assassinated John F. Kennedy.
This is the Onion News Network. It is Free Talk Live. You are free to call in and talk live on the radio. Well, if it's between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern Time, or whatever the corresponding time is in your particular time zone. It's normally, well, it's hard to say normally, isn't it, Darryl? Who normally is in the third-person seat now? At this point, Johnny Ray, the Libertarian janitor, has had a baby, and by that I mean his significant
other. He's taken
other.
Paternity leave.
Yes, that's accurate. So we've had just a string of fill-ins coming in, and fortune smiled upon us. And Libertarian Banker was taking a short vacation while he was up here, and so here he is.
Hey guys, thanks for having me up here.
Yeah, thanks for visiting. And you brought in a couple of stories, one of which I am very interested in, and that is about payday loans. This is a really sort of hot topic. You'll find media talking about this relatively regularly because they have nothing nice to say.
Exactly, yeah.
Like a payday loan is a bad idea, which is a bad idea, which is a bad idea. We should never let anyone do it because bad idea.
Well, it generally is a bad idea, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it should be prohibited by law.
Sure. Doing an operation on yourself is a bad idea until you need to do it.
Exactly.
In which case, I mean, we probably shouldn't outlaw it.
There's a video, or actually there's a movie about that one scientist lady that was down at the South Pole that had to do surgery on herself.
And Antarctica is a big continent. It's not an entire pole.
She was at the South Pole base.
No, I think she was at a different base.
I thought she was at the South Pole
afraid
base.
Not. So, tell me about payday loans.
So look,
go look it up, Darryl.
Like you
tell
said,
me if I'm wrong.
These definitely are. They're very controversial products. And this article I brought in here is from Vox.com, which isn't a website that I particularly like too much, but I thought
they write some good articles, but they also write some stuff that's obviously slanted.
When this one's a 3 or 4 months old, so it's not as some of the names aren't as current. But it talks about the name of the article is "A Payday Lender is Accused of Stealing Millions from Customers. Trump's CFPB is now letting them off the hook." You see how they wrote Trump right in front of CFPB? Yeah, so
it's important.
You already know where this article is slanted here.
And what is the CFB?
Sure, CFPB is the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. And it's responsible. It was created under Dodd-Frank, and it's responsible for regulating banks and other financial institutions when it comes to consumer affairs.
And honestly, a payday loan is a bank. It's a odd bank. Doesn't function like the banks that often we think of, but
it's not a depository institution.
That's true.
Exactly. So what they're doing is they are going to make sure that all the disclosures meet the federal guidelines and standards, and they write all of those standards for any type of financing or loan out there. So this article starts off, and I'm going to kind of jump around it, but I hope it'll make sense here. So, and it says the CFPB is taking it easy on payday lenders accused of preying on low-income workers. In the agency's first report to Congress since Mick Mulvaney took the helm in November. Now remember, this is an older article. I believe there's a new lady who's just been appointed at the CFPB.
Sorry, I don't know my CFPB appointees.
Sure. Actually, I think Congress is in the middle of
lying,
grilling, or whatever they do to them.
Stealing things?
Sure.
Okay.
Vetting her as the new CFPB manager. But anyway, the CFPB said it's dropping sanctions against NDG Financial Corp., which is a group of 21 businesses that under President that has been accused of running a cross-border online payday lending scheme in Canada and the United States.
Okay.
And that's in quotes. So I'm assuming this is some...
Here in the United States, when one uses the term scheme, it is a pretty loaded term. Now, in Great Britain, they'll use the term scheme for anything, just to basically an idea, the enactment of an idea or whatever. But here, scheme is almost always nefarious.
So in this instance, Mark, they use the word scheme to mean something illegal, right? Because I believe maybe scheme sounds a little more conspiratorial than illegal, because it says the scheme primarily involved making loans to U.S. consumers in violation of state usury laws and then using unfair and deceptive and abusive practices to collect on the loans and profit from the revenues. So
let's
they
talk
broke
about
the law.
The history of usury. All right. So usury goes back a long way, as far back in European history as we can pretty much go. And the idea is that if you're going to loan someone money, you should not loan at any interest at all. Anything that interest is usury. End of story.
Right.
Now, why? And by the way, this kept Europe in the Dark Ages for a long time and empowered ethnic groups like the Jews and that sort of thing over and made them look bad. I can't remember what the story is, but there's one where basically the Jew is vilified because he's the banker and those sorts of things. I think it was the one where the pound of flesh right next to the heart or something like that. I can't remember what the story was, but it would come to my mind later if I looked it up.
I'm sure someone will call in about it and let us know.
But nonetheless, these usury laws caused all kinds of problems. It kept Europe in the Dark Ages because nobody could get any loans to do anything. What you need in order to have a successful business or interest or organization is you need money and you need a good idea. You can have a good idea, but if you don't have money, you're just another bum out in the fields cutting wheat with a good idea. And
you need someone else to want that good idea. It's a solution to a problem, which is what payday loans ultimately are.
The definition of scheme, according to Google, just type in define and scheme for the verb. Now, there's both a noun and a verb.
To scheme, yes.
The verb is to make plans, especially in a devious way or with intent to do something illegal or wrong. So they're using the word scheme as a noun, but applying the verb definition.
Well, what's the noun definition?
A large-scale systematic plan or arrangement for attaining a particular object.
Yes, okay.
Okay. Well, isn't that business in general? I mean, Don't you make up a scheme to...
Government. Yeah. So any government idea, any government program, they'll call them government programs here in the United States. They call them government schemes in Great Britain.
Sure. It's just the difference of mentality.
It's just usage.
So jumping a little bit ahead in this article here, and this is and one of the reasons I brought this article in was to talk about payday loans and consumer lending in general as an issue rather than talk about these specific situations.
Right. So let's explain what a payday loan is for people who don't necessarily know what it is before we go on.
And it defines it right here. It says payday loans have long been one of the sketchiest financial products available to consumers. These short-term loans are typically offered to low-income workers who don't have credit or don't have any credit or have bad credit. They're essentially a paycheck advance when someone needs to pay a cash or bill. Yep. So short-term loans that they charge fees or very high interest rates to make profits on.
Right. Let's say, for instance, I just started working a job, don't get that first paycheck for 2 more weeks. The pay period ends next week, so that's actually 3 weeks. And I've got a $100 electric bill coming up. I go to some payday loan thing, and they say, we would be glad to loan you $100.
I'm not sure if they would even loan you if you haven't got a paycheck yet, but go right ahead.
Sure.
At this really high interest rate.
Yeah, basically you're going to get that $100 and then pay back. I don't know. I have never done this, but say $120 or $130.
Sure, closer to $150.
It says right here in the article, it says the fees are astronomical. For example, most payday loans charge a percentage or dollar amount for every $100 borrowed. According to the CFPB, $15 for every 100 is common.
Okay.
And that amounts to a 391% annual percentage rate.
Yeah, it's really high.
For a 2-week loan. Okay, so they're taking that $15 fee that you pay over 2 weeks, and they're amortizing that over a year to get that high percentage rate. Is $15 in 2 weeks to borrow 100? That's not. I mean, if you think that's not that, but when they put it as a 391% annual percentage rate, it sounds terrible.
It is terrible. I mean, generally, I'm against payday loans for people, but I understand that not everybody is in the same financial position as I am.
I mean, I asked the listener out there, have you ever had a friend or a family member loan you some money and you were willing to give them $10 or $15 extra in return for helping you out?
That's it. $15 a 100. It doesn't sound like that much when you're talking about that.
But when you stretch it out over a year, it sounds terrible.
Yeah. 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE here on Free Talk Live. Username LRN.FM on Skype. Free Talk Live. What's more profitable, running your business or doing bookkeeping? Doing your business, of course, but you want to keep your books so that you can maximize your tax savings, right? What if I told you that there's a person that's a bookkeeper, accountant, and law school graduate that's also a hardcore libertarian?
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I hate the state. I will aggressively help you to minimize your tax exposure and maximize profits, all while staying within the law.
Melanie's your best choice for your taxes and bookkeeping needs. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and check out our website, tax.freetalklive.com.
The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful full-featured wallet that allows you to send and receive Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH, with anyone, anywhere in the world. It supports both single and multi-signature wallets and is available in multiple languages. The Bitcoin.com wallet is available on Windows, Linux, Mac, Android, and iOS devices. Use the Bitcoin.com wallet to buy, send, store, and receive both Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH. Learn more at wallet.bitcoin.com. That's wallet.bitcoin.com.
Imagine this is you. You're working late when you get an alert on your smartphone. Your motion-activated Blink security camera picked up something at home. You pop open your Blink app and see the silhouette of a man peering through your kitchen window. The job of a home security system is to help stop crime. Get 3 Blink cams for way less than the other guys, plus an extra 15% off. Visit blinkprotect.com/FTL, like Free Talk Live. Blinkprotect.com/FTL to save 15%.
I've said it many times on air, and I'll say it here. The New Hampshire Liberty Alliance is one of the most important organizations for freedom in the world. New Hampshire is ground zero for freedom, and the NHLA is the best organization at promoting effective liberty activism. This ad is sponsored by Free Talk Live, and I, Mark Edge, am a lifetime member because I believe in the NHLA. Please check them out at nhliberty.org. Not everyone can move right now, but you can support the cause. Donate top cryptocurrencies or old-fashioned U.S. dollars, nhliberty.org. Visit their website and see what they're all about, nhliberty.org.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com.
Did you know that Free Aid is a mutual aid, educational, and networking organization? At Free Aid, we support volunteers who provide first aid. We do outreach to the public about health and safety, and we bring together medically skilled freedom lovers. Free Aid is made possible by your generous support. Donors can receive great gifts like first aid kits, t-shirts, silver dime cards, and hoodies. The Free Aid Silver Dime Card Project is sponsored in part by Roberts & Roberts Brokerage, Freedom's Phoenix, and Don't Tread on Meme. Visit fr33aid.com.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. It's a live Sunday edition. It is Mark with you.
Libertarian Banker
and Darryl.
That's right. Thanks for the visit here, Libertarian Banker. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
You can call in, talk about whatever you want to talk about, but we're talking about payday loans, which are one of the favorite whipping boys of the media and the banking industry and these sorts of places. So, I guess I think they deserve a little bit of protection. You should at least look at them rationally, I think, is that what I'm going to try to do here. Darryl?
So one thing that libertarians for a long time have wanted is a directory of liberty-minded businesses. There have been several attempts that I'm aware of over the last decade that have all failed, except for one. Liberty.menu. Liberty.menu is a tool for our community. At its core is a directory for events, businesses, and digital content, and more. Listings can be rated and reviewed kind of like a Yelp, and there's also a bit of a social networking aspect where you can connect and share with other users. And use of Liberty.menu is exclusively for individuals who reject the initiation of force and those who agree to abide by the ethics of the non-aggression principle. Put your voluntarist ideas into action at Liberty.menu and use code FTL when you sign up or after you sign up, or if you've already got an account, go over there now. Input code FTL as in Free Talk Live and get a special Free Talk Live listener badge. Liberty.menu.
Let's go to Matthew calling in from Louisiana. Matthew, you're on Free Talk Live.
Yeah, there we go. I got the noise, and that means I'm on. Mark,
Yes, sir.
Darryl, Libertarian Banker, this is a really bad idea to get rid of payday loans. It's going to lead to an increase of hardship for the poor and probably even homelessness. Because some of these people, they have an incident come up, like they need to get new tires for their car, or they maybe need to get a major repair for their car or a car at all to get back and forth to work. That payday loan was what may help them pay their rent.
Exactly.
And
I don't think any of us on the show said get rid of payday loans.
No, we didn't.
said getting one is generally a bad idea.
Absolutely.
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
A payday loan is an indication that a cascade of bad financial choices have occurred in the recent past.
Sure.
So,
or just plain bad luck.
Hey,
well, it could be bad luck, but I mean, bad luck often comes from bad decisions.
absolutely. Hey, and look, I've ultimately always said debt is never your problem. Debt is a symptom of your problem. Most people's problem
Absolutely.
is they don't have a budget. They don't save any money. They don't spend way more than they make. So that is the problem, and debt is a symptom of that. When you overspend, you have to borrow to fund that. So
if for the last 2 months,
our brain rewards us
yeah,
with a dopamine hit when you acquire goods.
yes,
of course.
and the richer you are, the more you have to pay for those goods to get that dopamine hit. You're not going to go to the store and get a candy bar and be happy. As a rich person, you got to go buy a Ferrari, I guess.
Although if you generally don't eat candy bars.
Yes, you can. Yeah.
My boss generally enjoys getting a bargain, but I did. Another reason I called. Where can I find? I have a scheme.
Yes.
I have a scheme concerning Ross Ulbricht. Where can I find a list of the names of the prosecutors, the judges, and the agents and the agencies involved in the Ross Ulbricht case?
The judge is Catherine Forrest. You could probably find a lot of that info at freeross.org.
Links to those.
If you have a recap account, recap is the word Pacer spelled backwards. Pacer is a system that allows you to pull up info on various federal cases. Recap allows those documents to be put up in the Internet Archive. And I know that a lot of the files from the Ross Ulbricht case have been put up on the archive through Recap. So download Recap You can get a lot of that info that way.
Yeah, wasn't one of the officers who was arrested along with Ross Ulbricht for planting evidence, or
there were actually
Mark
two.
Force? Was it
Carl Mark Force
yeah.
and Sean Bridges? They're both currently sitting in federal prisons. They weren't arrested at the same time, but they were involved and arrested later, and the defense was prevented from presenting that information about these corrupt cops to the jury.
Matthew?
Yeah, did y'all ever hear of a book by she's very establishmentarian, but Sidney Powell, and her book is called License to Lie. And she goes into a lot of the detail about the corruption at the DOJ and the FBI, and she's very bipartisan about it. She goes all the way back to Scooter Libby and discusses the Enron case and this.
Nope, I haven't heard anything about it.
Yeah.
Well, her book details all of this stuff. What I understand, Rush mentioned it once on his show, and the price of it was shot up to like $500. I'm gonna have to see if I can get our local library.
That'll settle down later, but you could do it through interlibrary loan. Most libraries have that. Thanks for the call, Matthew. Appreciate it.
Loan ciao.
Yep. 855-450-3733. My thoughts on so I don't want to disparage any. I have called a payday, the title loan place, and asked about their rates one time. So it shows that look, sometimes you just need some money,
right?
But I mean, there are decisions you can make before that generally are going to put you in better stead. It's nice to have a nest egg. You probably should have
emergency fund.
Yeah,
you should solve all your problems.
Yeah, you should have $1,000
at least.
To start, $1,000 just put away in case.
Recent studies show that half of Americans don't have $400.
I'm sure half of Americans are below average IQ. Do you want to be part of that half? I mean, I don't know what else to say. Act like you are, act like you can make good financial decisions, and you will begin to make lots of good financial decisions.
Here's a gauge of how dumb Americans can be with their money. The average car payment's about $480 a month.
God!
What? I swear to you, $480 is the average car payment in America. So it's absolutely ridiculous.
All right, here's another question. How many of those people, and you... I understand if you don't have the statistic in front of you, how many of those people are leasing versus buying?
I'm not sure.
I think it was
lower just car payment. I'm assuming that's all payments.
How many people that own cars, and I'm using air quotes there because if you're making a payment, technically you don't own the car, but of people that own cars, how many have a car payment?
I would guess, if I had to guess, over half.
I can say this about cars: the new ones that have come out recently with the cool get like opening the doors and the dash display and all that other stuff. They got a lot of neat features now that they didn't have before. 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. Free Talk Live.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
This is Jessica Armand, creator of the fluoride-free oral care brand, My Magic Mud. You're going to love our new products. Our cutting-edge oral rinses deeply soothe your mouth and fight cavities naturally. Our breath spray, My Magic Mist, will invigorate your senses with essential oils of peppermint and eucalyptus. Our clinically proven toothpaste and tooth powders whiten your teeth and detoxify your mouth. Buy discounted bundles direct at mymagicmud.com and take 10% off with coupon code GCN10. mymagicmud.com.
Hi, I'm Derek J. I don't want a politician to represent me. To me, government is the idea that one group of people can coerce everyone to comply with an edict or face increasing punishments up to and including death. Despite perhaps the most noble of intentions, the best government services are a far cry from what could be provided for by voluntary interactions. Besides, the people who call themselves the government wage wars and put peaceful people in jail for crimes involving no victims. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com.
Radio is the most personal of mediums. I exist right now in your head. If you listen to Free Talk Live regularly, you know me. Free Talk Live is on more than 160 radio stations around the U.S. and has been downloaded on every continent around the world. Hundreds of thousands of listeners with ad packages from $600 a month to $6,000 a month. Imagine what we can do for your business, project, website, or idea. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper FPP News at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Come on and call in. The number is 855-450-3733. It's 855-450. Free as in freedom. It's Mark with you.
The Libertarian Banker.
And Darryl.
I want to tell you about CryptoTip.org. It is it's an opportunity for you to go over there and print up little cash crypto tips of cryptocurrency that you can leave on tables. Obviously, you should leave them with cash tip too, so you don't look like you're just, I don't know, leaving something weird for a server. But leave the cash tip and leave a crypto tip on top of that, and then perhaps the server will take time to go and download a wallet and then get the money off the crypto tip. And if they don't, you'll get it back. I think it's 30 days. Is that about right, Darryl?
You can set it 30 days,
okay.
3 months. You can set it up to a year.
There you go. So you can, but ultimately the money will come back if it doesn't get
correct.
Claimed. So there you go. CryptoTip.org. And that's a project brought to you by Free Talk Live's Ian Freeman, who's worked really hard on getting that done, and just bringing things to the world, trying to make it a better place. Let's go to Tom calling in from Rhode Island. Tom, you're on Free Talk Live.
How you doing? This is Tom from Rhode Island.
Great.
I have some debt issues.
Okay.
Sir.
Tell us about them.
All right, here's the problem. I spent a lot of money, and then I realized Ian likes young boys. Why are you a pedophile? Stay away from young children, please.
That has nothing to do with
no, it's just him talking.
Issues.
Hey,
now you're just
I'm not going to drop
ranting.
you off because you've said the word pedophile. You could have called in about that topic if that's what you wanted.
No, sir. I've heard some rotten rumors that came out of you, People said some rotten things. If you're looking at young boys naked on the internet, you must stop.
Okay,
you can go to hell for that, sir.
Yeah,
none of us.
Okay, you could go
that.
to prison for it, which is probably a bit more.
Well, whatever it is, dude,
hold on, wait a second, Tom. Understood. Yeah, Tom, are you looking at children naked on the internet?
No, I'm not.
Okay, then at this point, you have the same amount of convictions for it that I
Stay
do.
away from the children.
What?
Stay away from them.
Hey,
Use your head.
Tom, stop touching little boys at church, for God's sake. Ridiculous.
Wow.
So what the gentleman is referring to is about 2.5 years ago, the Federal Bureau of Investigations, along with local and state police, came in here, raided the Free Talk Live studios. The claim was there might be child pornography that had been downloaded through our network, which was shared by more than 100 people. By the way, this is a couple of weeks after I had called the Federal Bureau of Investigations completely unprofessional for their conduct at the mall here wildlife standoff that had gone on, plus mentioned that they were the largest distributors of child pornography in the world. If you want to go after the largest distributors of child pornography, arrest the next FBI agent you see. Oh, you wouldn't do that? Well, maybe it's because there's something special about the FBI. Why is it, if child pornography is damaging, and I'm not saying it's not, but if it is, why is it okay for the FBI to go and damage people?
Because they have uniforms.
Yeah, they're special. So, yeah, whatever. I'm happy to discuss this topic, but it's obvious that Tom just wanted to...
he wanted to rant.
Yeah, he wanted to rant, and he was happy. I gave him an opportunity to do it, but, there's as much evidence against me for doing this as there is against Tom.
Right.
And that's, by the way, not his name. Let's go on with Brian, calling in from Minnesota. Brian, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hi, how you guys doing today?
All's well.
No, I'm glad. I wanted to talk about, the war on drugs and the debt kind of brings us into.
Debt brings us into the war on drugs? Okay.
Yeah, but the debt it brings the American taxpayer into.
Okay.
Right on.
Let's go ahead.
All right, so millions of taxpayers, we have to pay for, services provided by the government that we don't necessarily endorse, right?
Sure.
Or use.
So, for example, ICE or the FBI or whatever, war on drugs, the war on, pedophilia, which you are a pedophile, that's why you would
Brian,
actually, no, we are not.
Brian.
Well, you would,
Hold on.
let me just say this, all right? I'm going
to I'll let you say it. I got a question first, Brian.
I hope you would give the same respect to me.
Hold on. There's your respect. Your respect's a hold button. Now, hold on. I got a question. Okay? Can you hear me? Brian, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great.
I can.
Where are you guys coming from? Are you on some forum or something where you guys have put this all together where you're going to call in? Because it's fine. Everybody can call in.
I'm not going to answer that.
Okay, then.
But I am going to say...
Do you want me to answer a question?
Back to the old elementary parable. If you've done nothing wrong, show me.
How in the world am I going to show you I've done nothing wrong? What kind of backwards thinking is that?
Are you a red troll or a blue troll?
No, because you don't understand jurisprudence. You're a mouth-breathing dullard on the telephone.
Get your fucking ton of
money.
money.
You can't say the F word, dummy.
F word. We're on actual radio. You hit the spin around and then hit the big red button. And then that should wind up, everybody listening to the LRN stream should wind up not having heard what he said.
All right. Young gentleman from 4chan. This is your warning. You cannot say the F word, the S word, and two different C words.
I think George Carlin had a skit about this.
There are several words you can't say. If you think you can't say it,
it'd be best.
Don't.
Right, and if you have to use them, you don't have an argument.
But that means that that requires them to actually think, and they probably aren't doing that.
Okay, let's go to Payday Loans. I've already addressed
actually,
this.
Let's go back
somebody
to
in the
car
Discord
loan
as well.
Yeah, well, that's what I meant. Yeah,
because I did pull up some info, and Libertarian Banker, you had mentioned that the average car loan is about $480.
Yeah,
and according to a statistic published by thebalance.com citing other statistics, that's the average for a new car loan.
Yep. It's actually 515 according to this article in March of this year.
I'm not seeing what the average for all car loans is, including used. But one thing that's interesting, the average new car loan is taken out for 68 months, whereas the average used car loan is taken out for 64 months.
Ooh.
With the average new vehicle loan for about $31,000. The average for used vehicle is actually at about $19,500, according to USA Today.
That's from all those people that just traded in their vehicle to buy the new vehicle, right? So they trade in the 1-year-old vehicle because they're tired of driving, or they want a different color.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, over 107 million adults in the U.S., which is 43% of the adult population in the U.S., have a car loan, with the outstanding balance being over $1 trillion total.
So it used to be that a car was basically wheels, a radio, an air conditioner, and then the amount...
some seatbelts.
Yeah, the amount of it was basically the reliability of the vehicle.
Yeah.
Right? So if you bought a car in, I'm going to use 1995.
Yep.
The features that you got in that car, the $20,000 car versus the $1,000 car, were negligible.
Sure. By today's standards. But back then, you get the wood grain, Mark. You get the wood grain dashboard, the paneling on the side. Looks nice.
To my mind, that basically what you're paying for is the reliability. And I understand. Look, you don't want your wife wandering along the side of the road with a gas can in her hand.
Right.
I guess gas can wouldn't be the right thing. That's just bad planning. But, wandering along trying to find, somebody to come help or anything like that.
Right.
But... now I think there's a few more features that people want. Basically, people can't tell.
Air-conditioned seats. Yeah. Not just heated seats. Air-conditioned seats.
You don't need that.
So I have a...
you do if you live down south.
My car is 16 years old.
Uh-huh.
It is. It's one of the oldest cars of any of my friends. It actually has crank windows in it.
There you go.
And my niece, who is 7 years old...
couldn't figure out how to use them.
...asks me, what is that right there? And it dawned on me she's never seen roll-down windows.
Yeah. I can't even imagine I can't tell you the last time I was in a vehicle with roll-down windows.
I'll take you for a ride later.
God, I'm trying to think.
A couple days ago.
855-450-3733. What classic automobile have I been in? 855-450-FREE is in freedom here on Free Talk Live. And you are free to call in and talk about whatever you want.
Live.
Free Talk Live.
This November, I'll be running the world's biggest and most popular marathon, the New York City Marathon, as a member of Team Innocence Project. The Innocence Project was the first legal organization to systematically apply DNA testing to cases of wrongful convictions as a powerful tool to reveal innocence. So far in 2018, the Innocence Network has welcomed 32 wrongfully convicted people home from prison for crimes they did not commit, and had a record-breaking 850 people unite in Memphis at their annual conference. The movement of freeing the innocent and reforming the criminal justice system is growing and would not be possible without your support. Together as 68 network organizations around the world, they've helped exonerate 513 people who spent a combined total of 7,804 years in prison. They've also worked together to pass over 150 laws in the U.S. to help prevent wrongful convictions. You can support the Innocence Project by going to run.freetalklive.com. That's run.freetalklive.com.
Hi, this is Dr. Joel Wallach, the Mineral Doctor. You've heard me talk about 90 for Life for years. 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 2 fatty acids. You may not know this, that I've actually designed Arthrodex for animals. That's right. Your pets need 90 for Life too. Get this essential pet product by calling 877-279-9422. That's 877-279-9422. Again, 877-279-9422.
Are you one of the 70% of Americans that want to own your own business? Afraid to leave the security of your current job to pursue your dreams? I'm Pharmacist Keith. Dr. Wallach, the Dead Doctors Don't Lie guy, and myself want to show you a low-cost way to create your own business, working around your current job schedule, creating an extra income for you and your family by joining his crusade, spreading his message of better health. To learn more, visit radio.recordedvideo.com, radio.recordedvideo.com. That's radio.recordedvideo.com.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. Facebook.freetalklive.com.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Nestle Toll House Refrigerated Cookie Dough. Who would you bake some love for? Find fun and easy baking ideas at tollhouse.com. Kids love doing arts and crafts projects, especially when you join in. Try channeling all that artistic energy into the kitchen and bake up some creative treats together. Think of your art supplies as the frosting, sprinkles, and decorating gels, and use cookies or cupcakes as your canvas. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live, and you are free to call in and talk live on the air about whatever interests you. It's Mark with you,
the Libertarian Banker,
and Darryl.
The number's 855-450-3733. Check out our archives going back for more than a decade for free at archives.freetalklive.com. Go there. Download. You'll have as much content as you could possibly use. The internet is now full of Free Talk Live content. So there you go.
And cat memes.
What's that?
And cat memes.
Yeah.
And trolls.
Yeah.
Yes.
Archives.freetalklive.com. Let's go to Big Loaf calling in on the Discord line. That's discord.freetalklive.com. Big Loaf, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up, gentlemen? How's it going?
What's going on?
What's on your mind?
Yeah, see, y'all got it popping. So I wanted to talk about the car loans, man. So, Banker, why do people get? I mean,
what is that, Banker? Why do people get what?
You dropped out.
People get these insane car loans. I mean, I'm sort of kind of like you. Like, I've got mine paid off, you know, and you see people that, you know, it's clear they can't really afford the vehicle, yet they're driving something that's costing them $600 a month. You know what I mean? Like, what drives people to do that? I mean, is it strictly
Yes. And I think one of the callers actually noted earlier, there's a dopamine rush that comes from acquiring things or getting something nice. There's that good feeling about it.
I want to impress my girl. I want to impress fill in the blank person. I want to, well, my neighbor's got a new car, so I need to get a new car.
Keep up with the Joneses.
Yep.
I said I wasn't going to get a new car until it drove itself. And I then traded in a 1998 Ford Exploder that, you know, for I think we got $1,000 for it or whatever on my 2016 Civic. Now, it was on the lot for going on 2 years. The 2018 model year had already been produced, so they were trying to unload this thing. I got it for $20,000, but I looked online, and it happened to be my local dealer had one of these that had this advanced cruise control, and what that means is that you can set it at, say, 55, and if a car is going in front of you, 47. It will slow down at a prescribed distance from the car, and you can set that sort of far and close and far, and it will follow to the point that if that car comes to a full stop, it will stop.
Wow.
And then go behind the car, and it will never, impact. Now, you got to pay attention.
Sure.
It also has lane keeping, which I call suicide keeping, because that lane keeping will go off and never make a beep.
And it just jerks the wheel on you.
No, it doesn't jerk the wheel. It'll just drift off. You'll, the road curves. You don't. So I don't. I use it, but I don't really rely on it in any way, shape, or form. So I took out a loan, and because my wife is so good at keeping, the numbers, keeping the books at the house, our credit was over 800.
Sure.
And the loan, I think, was 1.2%, coming from a lending institution, not from Honda. And I could, okay, why would I pay that off? It's less than inflation. So I'm just going to keep the loan going.
Yeah, that's a great point. And I think it's all about proportionality, too. It depends on your situation. If you can afford a $500 car payment, then by all means, do it. But
it's not 500.
Yeah, well, yes. Whatever. Yeah, whatever it is. But I think in general, as long as it's affordable for you, then it makes sense.
But people can't tell what's affordable for them. That's the problem.
But there's, as Henry Hazlitt would say, there's the seen and the unseen. And here's the unseen: is what happens if you put $500, $600 per month into a mutual fund for 30 years? It's going to be over $2-3 million over that period of time. So enjoy that $20,000 car now, or enjoy $3 million later.
Every dollar you spend, as a young person, every dollar you're spending is basically $7.
Sure, or more
out of your retirement.
Absolutely.
Big Loaf.
Yeah, that's insane. But anyways, that's all I wanted to talk about. I was going to roast Banker about his connections to international Judaism, but it sounds like the trolls are already calling it. So
Loaf and I, we have a good time in the Discord voice chat. Not sure if you talked about what Discord is tonight, but it's
Yeah,
we have a good time in there.
Discord is a chat room plus audio chat that you can participate in, and it's just a heck of a lot better than chat rooms used to be. I think we've got several hundred people in there that are members, and
active too.
Dozens that are active.
Lots of trolls.
Yep. Well, it's always fun.
More people in the voice chat. Yeah, come check it out.
There it is.
Discord.freetalklive.com. Appreciate the call, Big Loaf. And I gotta get out of there too, in order to let other people go in. I'll make sure Darryl takes care of that in the next segment. So when it comes to these payday loans, we talked about auto loans there,
right?
And many of them are the payday loans, the title loans. It's basically the same sort of rigmarole. And what they offer people are these short-term, high-interest loans, and sometimes some people need those.
Yeah,
but I generally think it's a bad idea to use them. I agree with most people that sort of vilify them and that sort of thing, but you never know what somebody's circumstance is, and sometimes a loan can be very, very useful.
Well, and here's the thing, is that what sparked my interest in this story originally was a series I've watched on Netflix, and I forget the name. It's called Dirty Money, I think is the name of the series, the Netflix series. And the first one is about a guy named Scott Tucker. He was a race car driver, but he made all his money in the payday loan industry.
Okay.
And he recently got sentenced to 16 years in prison for running this payday loan scheme. And really, what I want to know, and what I want to ask the listener is, should it be illegal to offer a payday loan to somebody? Now, granted, what he was doing was absolutely just ripping people off, but it was completely voluntary. It was all spelled out in the documents that he wrote, and the way Scott Tucker, I think, in particular, got caught was because he used Indian reservations to register the companies, so he could get around state laws. So his only crime was not defrauding other people. These were voluntary loans. Was disobeying the government.
Yeah.
That really is the only crime.
It is. Right. I mean, I guess that my advice to the listener is if you've had 3 payday loans in the last 3 months, you need to seriously reevaluate your spending habits.
There are some people that they get caught in what's basically called the payday loan cycle of I need to borrow, $100 until next week, and then my loan plus the payment is this, and that's almost the same as what I got in this paycheck, and then this, and then I need to borrow another 100, and then another, and then you're just constantly borrowing $100 and repaying it and repaying it and repaying it
while you're driving a car with a $500 car payment, right?
Right. That's the first place. The first place to go is get out of that car, in whatever fashion it takes. Get out of that car.
Drop the cell phone. I know it's hard to do. There are cell phone plans for about $20 a month that give you a free flip phone if you need to call somebody. You don't have to have the latest iPhone here, people.
I've got a $35 a month plan, and it's unlimited text, unlimited calls.
Cut the cord.
They say unlimited data, but it gets throttled after like 2.5 gigs.
So cut the cord. You don't need cable at your house. You don't need dish. You don't need all those things.
That also means cut all of the streaming, because just because you cut cable, but then you get Netflix, Hulu, HBO Go, that's basically cable without a cable.
Right. I mean, I've got Amazon Prime, $8 a month, and we have all the television you could possibly need to watch there.
Right.
Not to mention it's free over the air. A lot of people don't know. Just put up an antenna. You've got high quality, about 20 different channels if you just put up some bunny ears.
Not in every place in America, but
sure.
Yes.
Maybe not here in rural New Hampshire.
They do provide you some channels if you put in, especially if you can put an antenna on the roof. You'll get better reception.
Right.
But there's a variety of ways to cut down costs. For me, what it was $20 lunches every single day. My wife she couldn't believe it when we got together, and she stepped in and began to provide lunch for me, and I'm like, okay. And after a while,
tuna sandwiches, Mark.
Yeah.
Tuna sandwiches.
Yeah. Well, a tuna sandwich doesn't cost much compared to that sushi lunch with the tip. So it's that gets pretty expensive. The number's 855-450-3733. I remember just recently my wife and I went by one of those furniture places that are basically like this.
Like a Best Way or Rent to Own?
I don't know. Rent to own.
Yeah.
Furniture places. My son asked what it was, and I'm like, never, ever go in there.
Yeah, you pay $8,000 for a $500 TV.
I mean, secondhand shops, furniture, cheap. 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE here on Free Talk Live.
I tried other brands, but I came back to my Sunshine.
For the best hot or cold pain relief, get the best. Get a Sunny Bay heating pad.
Sometimes life can be a pain in the neck, or back, or shoulder.
And the best relief for that pain is a Sunny Bay heating pad. Did you know that the American College of Physicians said that one of the best ways to treat muscle pain is heat therapy? Sunny Bay heating pads are handmade with high quality, can be used at home or at work, and have a lifetime 100% positive rating on both Amazon and Etsy.
Why take another pill?
Many people use our Sunny Bay heating pads alone and got rid of the neck pain.
Long distance travel or long hours in front of a computer can take its toll on your body.
Our homegrown small business tries to help people just like us. That's why we design and test our handmade products with great care before we introduce them to the public. You can easily find Sunny Bay heating pads on Amazon. Just go to Amazon.com and search for Sunny Bay heating pads.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveatpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveatpurse.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Darryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for the weekend of July 21st, 22nd, 2018. Silver is trading at $15.52 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,232 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $27, and the average price of Bitcoin is $7,360. Antiwar.com reports with the Syrian rebel factions having been defeated or negotiated surrender deals, the first rebels from the territory around the frontier with the Israeli-occupied Golan Heights have started to evacuate the area, heading north to the rebel-held Idlib province. Various rebel-held cities, towns, and villages all accepted roughly the same deal negotiated by the Russians. Under the deal, rebel factions agree to either submit to government rule, disarming and remaining where they are, or evacuate into the north. Buses arrived in the southern part of the Quneitra province on Friday and started loading up both rebels and any civilians that wanted to leave, departing for the north. Exactly how many fled is not entirely clear. Reuters, however, reported that from the Israeli-held side of the frontier, they could see large numbers of cars and trucks packed with people withdrawing from a village on the Syrian side. This withdrawal leaves just a handful of towns held by the Islamic State along the southern border outside of government control and presumably the next targets of the offensive. Are you looking for a cryptocurrency that has a focus on users and usability? Then look into Zencash. Zencash has the ability to use both transparent and shielded transactions, with shielded transactions using zero-knowledge proofs. Zencash features global governance with inclusive decision-making, reliable funding for continuous improvements, and documentation and wallets in many languages that are available for Linux, Mac, Windows, and Android devices. Learn more at Zencash.com. That's Zencash.com. UPI reports an independent investigation into sexual assault allegations against a now-deceased sports doctor at Ohio State University has uncovered more than 100 former students who said they were abused, according to a statement by the school on Friday. The accusers, including both athletes and patients at Student Health Services, said Dr. Richard Strauss committed acts of sexual misconduct between 1979 and 1996. Other patients of Strauss's private practice, which was started in 1996, also lodged complaints against him. Investigators interviewed more than 200 former students and university staff as part of the probe and intended to talk to 100 more. The investigation is being carried out by Perkins Cole LLP, an international law firm that has been in communication with the Franklin County Prosecutor's Office. The investigatory team said it also plans to review whether Strauss examined any high school-age students during his time at The Ohio State University. Strauss died in 2005. You can support FPP Radio by joining the Fans program. Fans are friends, allies, and numerous supporters. Fans help FPP afford to produce more original content. You can join the Fans program for as little as $1 per month through Patreon and get perks like ad-free versions of FPP Radio News and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio. To learn more or to join the Fans program, visit fans.fppradio.com. Reuters reports Ohio Governor John Kasich on Friday commuted the death sentence of a convicted double murderer after a former juror in the man's trial asked that he not be put to death because the panel was not given key information during the sentencing about his troubled childhood. Kasich said there were fundamental flaws in the sentencing for Raymond Tibbetts and ordered him to serve life in prison without the possibility of parole. The governor's office said in a statement, the defense's failure to present sufficient mitigating evidence, coupled with an inaccurate description of Tibbetts' childhood by the prosecution, essentially prevented the jury from making an informed decision about whether Tibbetts deserved the death penalty. Earlier this year, Kasich halted the execution to consider a letter from former juror Ross Geiger. In the letter, Geiger said there was no question Tibbetts committed the murder, but factors about the defendant's upbringing were omitted or distorted by prosecutors in the trial's sentencing phase. Geiger said several years after the trial, he read a publicly available clemency report from 2017 that showed a history of abandonment for Tibbetts starting at age 2, and that of the 4 siblings, one committed suicide, another spent time in prison, and another is essentially homeless. He faulted the defense team for not calling the one sibling of Tibbetts who is leading a stable life and was willing to testify during the sentencing about the difficult childhood they all shared. Geiger said Tibbetts deserves to be in prison, but based on what he knows today, I would not have recommended the death penalty. Aaron Barnhart, an attorney for Tibbetts, said the jury was deprived of crucial information about his client's abusive upbringing. Clemency has been granted in 288 cases since the U.S. Supreme Court reinstated the death penalty in 1976, with the bulk coming from states that eventually repealed the death penalty. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
Shoppers at a Hannaford supermarket could only speculate that the middle-aged woman angrily demanding a price check on a pack of rice pudding was once a carefree youth.
I don't care what it says on your screen. You know, this is why people go to the store across the street, because of the way they're treated here. You know, nobody likes it here.
Those watching the woman angrily asking for a manager over a $1.20 price difference imagined that the woman was once a fresh-faced college graduate, too spirited and fun-loving to throw a bitter tantrum in front of a room of complete strangers.
She was probably once just some freewheeling college kid, you know? Her biggest concern was which one of her friends she was going to hang out with at night and whether they were going to meet at the movies or a bonfire on the beach. Now look at her. You know, I'll bet if you'd have told her 10 or 15 years ago that one day she'd be ripping into a grocery store clerk with a room full of strangers staring at her, she'd have been horrified. It's sad.
In other news, a few years in the military would have really straightened out a troubled teen killed in Afghanistan, and a man on the verge of self-realization instead turns to God.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
Free Talk Live. The number is 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE here on Free Talk Live. And you can call in and talk about whatever's on your mind. We just spent the last hour talking about payday loans, title loans, debt, and all these things that, well, they affect everybody's life. And you're welcome to call in on that or any other topic. But Libertarian Banker, you brought in another story that I'm interested in. I guess it's immigrants are building better companies, statistics say. Yeah. Now, I don't want to get into it, but I wanted to tease it here. We've got some calls, so just please, hold the line there for just 1 second. Let me get Mike calling in from New Jersey. Mike, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, how you doing? My name's Mike. I'm a car dealer here in New Jersey. I ran buy here, pay here lots.
Hey, Mike.
I'm going to Nate in Bordentown. Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Yeah, my name's Mike. I'm a car dealer out of Jersey. We do buy here, pay here.
Yep, gotcha.
I go to Nate National Auto Dealers Exchange in Bordentown. And, that subject is great and all, but I'd really like to talk about Ian Freeman and this whole pedophile thing.
Okay, go right ahead.
I find it rather disgusting. I mean,
What's
this guy
disgusting?
openly,
Is it disgusting that you might be jumping? Hold on, Mike. It sounds like you're jumping to a conclusion. Has Ian Freeman been convicted?
I heard him. Oh,
you heard something?
What he had to say. Oh, yeah. No, I heard his own voice. Yeah, I heard what he had to say.
What did he have to say?
He's a filthy pedophile.
What did he have to say?
He's absolutely for young people. He's absolutely for the youth getting touched and fondled.
When did you hear him say this? Because this doesn't sound like anything that like the guy I work with would say.
Oh, no, it doesn't. I wonder why he's having this nice camping trip out in the woods. What's he going to do? Bring some 13-year-old boys?
There are 1,200 people at that camping trip. It's not like this is a camping event.
Yeah, well, just him being there is a danger to these children.
Were you a Boy Scout, Mike?
It sounds like you don't know anything about anything. You haven't talked. The guy hasn't even been charged with anything.
Well,
it's just somebody on the internet said something, Mike.
Okay, yeah. You know, as a white person, I can tell you with this guy. He's a nigger.
There you go. Okay, we dropped it. Okay, so there are a few words, and I guess I didn't outline that one.
Maybe Mike wasn't listening last hour.
That's why I said, if you think it's something that can't be said on the radio, it should not be said on the radio. Asterisk, I'm giving these people too much credit because it requires them to think.
So it sounds to me like all these people want to do is just call up and say cuss words, and they have to get a few words in first before they can throw out. He sounds like the same caller that we had.
It did kind of sound like
the thing is that it's really difficult for a call screener when you have an ordinary voice.
Yeah.
And that guy did, right? He didn't sound like he was from
Mike.
Jersey, but he
buy here, pay here, Mike.
Right. But, whatever. It's difficult for the call screener to get everybody. And how could they possibly get everybody? That's just, that's the way it is. And, it's Free Talk Live. You can call in and you can talk about whatever is on your mind. So,
except for those words.
Well, yeah, except for those words. I talked to him about it, but the guy just wants to make accusations about something he read on the internet, which has no bearing on reality. Don't you think the Federal Bureau of Investigations, the organization that has at this point distributed more child pornography than any one person on the planet, would arrest Ian Freeman if they had an ounce of evidence against him?
Most likely.
I'm convinced that they would.
I'm convinced that they would too. If, on the other hand, maybe a disgruntled employee or somebody who doesn't like what we say on the internet, on the air, came and hacked into our network and did that, or whatever, we wouldn't have it on.
Require them to hack. There were dozens, if not 100+ people that had the Wi-Fi password. The Wi-Fi is strong enough to where if you're sitting at a stop sign and you know the password, just sit there, get the ping, drive away, because all the FBI knows is someone using this Wi-Fi connected to this site. That's all they know.
And that's presuming that it actually occurred. At this point, the thing is the FBI. It's been 2.5 years. We have not heard back from the FBI. So all I can presume,
right? It wasn't any computer inside this building that made the connection.
Yeah, I cannot react to a lack of charges. I don't know what else to say. Anybody who says that Ian has ever supported pedophilia, please present some evidence, because my experience is he never ever has. So please, let's talk about this immigration, the immigrants building better companies.
Yeah,
situation.
so this one is from the National Foundation for American Policy. This is a 2016 study entitled "Immigrants, and billion-dollar startups." Immigrants and billion-dollar startups. All right, so here's sort of the executive summary, because obviously it's a pretty long study.
It's a 33-page document.
Yeah, so it says immigrants play a key role in creating new, fast companies, as evidenced by the prevalence of foreign-born founders and key personnel in the nation's leading privately held companies. Immigrants have started more than half, 44 out of 87 exactly, of America's startup companies valued at $1 billion or more, and are key members of management or product development teams in over 70% of these companies. The research finds that among the billion-dollar startup companies, immigrant founders have created an average of approximately 760 jobs per company in the United States. The collective value of the 44 immigrant-founded companies is 168 billion. So if you add all of them together, these 44 of them founded by immigrants, $168 billion.
How does that compare to just companies that are founded in the United States? I mean, are immigrants, more
they're
prolific?
only talking about startups,
billion-dollar startups. So I'm assuming these are companies that have gotten venture capital or some type of big investment,
right?
Which means that people have faith in these. They're willing to invest money in these immigrants.
Right. I'm not seeing a definition in this article or in this thing defining startup company.
Sure.
So, how quickly are these companies reaching the $1 billion? What exactly defines startup company?
So here, I think this is a little bit of an answer here. So
1 year.
The research involved conducting interviews and gathering information on the 87 U.S. startup companies valued at over $1 billion as of January 1, 2016. That have yet to become publicly traded on the U.S. stock market. So they're not public, they're private.
Right.
And are tracked by the Wall Street Journal and Dow Jones Venture Source. So 87 U.S. startup companies valued at over $1 billion that are not publicly traded and are tracked by the Wall Street Journal and Dow Jones. The companies, all privately held, are with the potential to become publicly traded on the stock market, are today each valued at $1 billion or more, and have received venture capital financing. So there you go. So these are companies that investors, people in the know, that are investing millions and billions of dollars, have faith in these in these immigrants.
Right. I'm just trying to figure out, did all of these companies wind up raising $1 billion in 1 year? Is it 5 years? What's the time period for startup company?
Why does it matter?
It largely does. So if a company's been in business for 10 years,
not a startup,
and then they reach $1 billion, that's not as impressive as a company that's been in business for 1 year.
Most of these are going to be
$1 billion.
These are going to be like California, Silicon Valley startups would be my guess. Where you're going to see people who are into the tech sphere. Probably they use the word crypto and AI in their their prospectus. or
Right.
whatever.
I'm not taking anything away from somebody starting a $1 billion company, and I don't want anybody to think that that's what I'm doing. I'm just trying to figure out, what is the definition that this study is going with for $1 billion company to get it down to only 87 companies.
Don't have an answer for you.
Yeah, I'm sure it's in this 33-page document somewhere, but forgive me, I haven't read the whole thing.
Yeah, and I was trying to do a, Control F, find startup, and I wasn't seeing a definition.
But here's a little tease before break here. So what is the top country that these immigrants are coming from? We'll, I guess, reveal it after we come back, right?
Well, we are inundated with cranker calls.
Sure, so I'll give it to you. Take a guess, Mark.
What is it?
Just take a guess.
I don't know.
India.
Oh, yeah. Well, there you go. I guess that makes some sense.
Second is Canada and the UK.
Free Talk Live.
From the 6th letter of Captain Mark. A pirate's life is characterized by voluntary interactions. Unfortunately, the Crown presses everyone into involuntary servitude. Landlubbers believe slavery was abolished years ago, but the Crown still claims to own us when it crimps us into service against our will. Given sufficient ambition, it would gladly draft thousands of hapless victims to kill or be killed. It's simply slavery by another name. Landlubbers are routinely commanded to serve the so-called justice system in jury duty. But before you swell with civic pride, consider that how you feel is irrelevant to the Crown. You will appear as ordered or face punitive measures. The Crown insists that you participate in your own oppression. A jury summons provides pirates with a unique opportunity to obstruct injustices. A juror can vote not guilty, even if it's proven the law was violated. A juror can acquit for any reason at all, and not even a judge can reverse that verdict. Receiving a jury summons is basically winning the sedition lottery. But if you reveal that you know this during jury selection, you'll probably be dismissed. If the Crown foolishly crimps a pirate into jury duty, it behooves the pirate to conceal their intention to nullify unjust laws. If a master takes 100% of your labor, it's called slavery. But if they only take 50%, they call it taxation, a difference of degree, not of kind. Whether the Crown claims a fortune or a cent is irrelevant. Most of all, a slave owner desires contented slaves, meaning thoughtless ones that accept their bondage. These house slaves see no contradiction in being drafted in a war to end slavery or summoned to a jury to prosecute tax evasion. An ideal slave knows no higher call than the master's will. The Crown's highest ambition is that its slaves revere the authority that subjugates them. But the Crown does not own me. I will not surrender my time and treasure to the Crown's ambitions. Join the conversation at pirateswithoutborders.com.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm. Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. I'll give out the number here shortly. We are loaded up with, probably crank calls. It's going to be a fun segment, guys. I want to tell you about MyPillow. This is truly, even you crankers, you should listen to this for a second. This is the best pillow I have ever used. It is, I mean, it supports your head and neck, and so if you've got back trouble, you got headaches, these kinds of things, it could help. I couldn't say for sure. I mean, I'm not going to diagnose you. Maybe you got a tumor for all that. It's not going to fix a tumor, but it's got a 60-day money-back guarantee. If it doesn't fix your head or neck problems, your headaches or whatever it might be, then you can always get your money back. And most importantly, your skin sheds while you're sleeping, dust mites eat the skin, and disgusting, vile things live in your pillow. You can wash MyPillow. You cannot wash most pillows that I've ever experienced prior to this. Go to mypillow.com and use promo code FTL. You'll save. You'll get free shipping on all your orders. You get the great low price, and then you have free shipping on all your orders if you use promo code FTL at MyPillow. And don't forget the 60-day return for a refund if that's what you want. All right, let's go to Skype on this one. That's this guy's threatening that he's going to expose us to YouTube or something. So you know the rules, right?
Please don't expose yourself on YouTube.
Don't expose yourself on YouTube. Don't say naughty words on Free Talk Live.
Yes, I won't say naughty words. I'm the person who called up in 2016. I am Luke McKee, my real name, and I'm an anti-pedophile activist.
Where did you call?
And unfortunately, I do have a troll army that uses naughty words, but I'm the guy you need to talk to clear this up. On 2 days ago,
I'm supposed to take your word
He's
for
the
it?
manager.
He's the manager of the troll army.
So, Mark, this guy did call in a couple days ago.
Okay.
And he posted in, I think, the Discord a link to a call he made at some point in 2016.
All right.
And Ian actually played part of the clip on the show.
All right.
There was a statement about somebody having sex with a 15-year-old. Rich Paul was in studio that night and said that would be legal in South Carolina.
Okay.
And
maybe at the time,
maybe not. 15 is within sort of the window of consent in South Carolina.
All right.
So I can confirm that this guy did call a couple nights ago, and he also called a couple of years ago.
Sounds like he has children in the background. Do you guys hear that? It sounds like kids running around in the background there.
I don't know.
What's your gripe?
Yeah, no, here's the thing. Ian Freeman, after I said about sex with Terry Bean, Democrat fund bundler for Oregon, that Obama says on C-SPAN is my dear friend, Ian Freeman said, and I quote, it's not a legal right, end quote. And
What's
you played that
right?
portion of the clip in the last broadcast with Ian Freeman's voice.
What is
and I've got the video on my channel
right?
with Ian Freeman's mouth moving saying it.
What?
Okay, so I'm seeking an apology for that.
Oh, you're not going to get an apology from me. I wasn't the one to do it. What?
Ian Freeman's in the room.
Ian Freeman's not on the air. How are you going to get an apology? Why don't you ask for an apology from Barack Obama? He's not here either.
Well, actually, what happened, the actual opposite happened because a friend linked to my blog in Australia, his name's John Sunhol.
How are we supposed to believe you're from Australia?
Yeah.
It's a great accent.
A friend from Australia, John Sunhol, linked to my Victims of Gay Bullying blog exposing Obama, and the Australian government prosecuted him and said that Obama is not friends with pedophiles. But like I said in 2016, you can read the statement from the boy victim on the Wilmette Wick newspaper website regarding Terry Bean. And Terry Bean claims he was exonerated because the boy and the boy's family was disappeared mafia style, like Ian Freeman says he's exonerated from the FBI child porn raid when he won't give the decryption password to his LUKS Linux Unified Key Setup encrypted laptop. If he wants to protect his sources like he said...
What are you talking about? Hold on.
Get his gear back. If he does get the password to the FBI, who's still got his computer gear, that's going to protect his sources because fruit from the forbidden tree. But instead, you go to GoFundMe and you get $6,000 to buy new computer gear from your followers.
Well, we didn't go to GoFundMe. Let's be 100% clear. You seem to think that facts are important, so we did not go to GoFundMe. A listener set that up and sent us some money, and we really appreciate that. And the FBI hasn't contacted Free Talk Live about getting any encryption keys.
Where's your evidence? Where's your evidence?
You're not exonerated until you get back your computer gear from the FBI. So try and sue them for it. Do it.
Why?
Please exonerate yourself.
Would you use a laptop that the FBI had poked around on?
What?
Would you use a laptop that you had gotten from the Federal Bureau of Investigations?
What I would do is I would re-image the hard disk and I would re-flash the Intel firmware management unit, and I would get someone who knows solid-state electronics to have a look at the circuit board to see if there's any planted chips. I'm an IT guy.
I understand, but it's not worth it for 5-year-old equipment.
Now let's talk about something else.
How much money would be spent suing the federal government?
Yeah, why would we do that?
But you already got $10,000 in the game with all your computer gear.
No,
exonerate.
We got our computer gear back.
Exonerate. There's no charges. How do you exonerate yourself?
We can't get
no
exonerated.
Charges?
We haven't been charged with anything.
Hey, let me explain some more. I've investigated many pedophiles. There's another case of a pedophile called Slurp T1 on Twitter, who's in an American jail in Georgia, and he gets out in February.
Great.
Slurp T1 on Twitter, convicted pedophile, FBI child porn fugitive.
Anybody can go online and find the names of pedophiles out there and then claim the credit for it. What is the relevance to me?
Well, the mainstream news didn't cover him being arrested for child porn. They only covered him being a gay activist hero.
Okay.
Where this Slurp
Are you
T1
claiming I'm the mainstream media then?
Sorry?
Are you claiming that I'm the mainstream media? Because the mainstream media doesn't usually get raided by the FBI.
Yeah, I know they should. You've got Don Lemon on CNN supporting Jerry Sandusky, and even Huffington Post is covering it.
We have nothing to do with Don Lemon being on CNN.
Yeah.
Mainstream media pedophiles.
Okay.
You just go Don Lemon.
So you claimed to be in charge of the troll army.
Yep.
Tell me what I got to do to make the troll army go away, because I'm scared. I'm frightened of boys on the internet.
Can I ask him one question,
talking
though?
in chat rooms.
Do you talk about this stuff in front of your children that are there in the background? I heard little kids in the background there, and do you talk about this pedophilia in front of your kids?
No, I don't talk in front of my kids. They're in a different room. They just can't.
Okay, yeah. So, but you seem so hung up on this topic, so absolutely hung up on it. I can only imagine how these dinner table conversations go.
I accept you change the topic before we go back. I'm hung up because Christopher Kent Bowersox, an American cop in Bakersfield,
just dropping names.
Born child, and he's a convicted pedophile. And the Bakersfield police chief, Mr. Williamson, said he's a professional cop because he's only trying to have sex with children off duty, and that's exposed on my YouTube channel right next to you, mate.
So we're promoting your YouTube channel? Is that what's going on here?
It sounds like that's what he's trying to do.
Okay, give your YouTube channel name, and then we're going to go, okay?
Let's go back. You asked why I hate pedophiles. I had a FBI confirmed, convicted gay pedophile cop who identified as gay before and after.
Do you hear the music?
Yeah, he's on .com. Bowersox.
Do you hear the music?
He doesn't care.
Okay.
The segment is ending.
He just wants to keep talking and saying words.
Thank you for the call. I really do appreciate it. Bye-bye.
I'm glad you appreciate it.
Well, whatever. I'm doing my best to, appreciate these folks for whatever the heck they're doing. I don't know. Free Talk Live.
Being trolls.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com, or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
If you like alkaline water, or know someone that does, you're going to love the Dylan Living Water Bottle. It creates alkaline water on the go while reducing plastic waste and saving you money. Made with surgical-grade stainless steel, the Dylan bottle increases the pH up to 9 to deliver both alkaline and antioxidant water anywhere you want it. Alkaline water is healthier, tastes better, and can even boost energy. The Dylan bottle makes it easy and affordable to be healthy and achieve optimal hydration. Get your Dylan bottle today at dyln.co. That's dyln.co.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
Free Talk Live. You can call in and talk about whatever's on your mind. It's Mark with you.
The Libertarian Banker.
And Darryl.
855-450-3733. That's 855-450-FREE. And Bitcoin.com, well, they do a lot of sponsoring. One of the things they sponsored was me for my jiu-jitsu tournament that's coming up here in next week. So that'll be awesome.
Hold on. So what's this jiu-jitsu tournament thing?
I'm going to do a jiu-jitsu tournament in Boston.
All right.
And
is it like the New England
Boston
Championships?
Open is what it's called.
All right.
And, well, yeah, it'll be my first one. So,
and what color belt do you have?
I have white.
Is that the lowest? I don't know these things.
I got a few stripes on my white belt, which brings me above the lowest. But yes, it's the lowest of the belts, and because I'm the lowest of the belts, they don't have an old guy category for me, so I have to wrestle, grapple, roll, whatever term you want to use, grapple with guys that are younger than I am, which is...
Is it also broken down? Is it broken down by weight class?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm heavy. Sadly, I was trying really hard to be medium heavy, but the truth is I'm heavy. So thanks to Bitcoin.com for sponsoring me at the event. So.
And are you going to have like a Bitcoin.com logo on your gi somewhere?
Yeah, I've got it on both the top and the bottom.
Nice.
I'll have some pictures up on my Facebook page. You can take a look. There you go.
Just make sure that whoever's taking the pictures doesn't get a picture of you tapping out.
It's There's nothing wrong with tapping out. Nothing at all. I mean, the wrong thing to do is to tap out too late.
That's called fainting.
Well, that's if you're getting choked. There's also arm bars, so that's the cracking noise. If you're tapping after the cracking noise, it's probably a bit late.
I'm just saying, like for the promotional photos.
Yes.
You laying on your back, tapping in submission, not the best promotional photo.
Probably not, but there's 6 guys in my weight class. 5 of them are going to tap. Or they're going to be pointed out, one of the two.
Yeah,
5 of them
judge's decision.
Going to lose.
Yes.
So let's go. Got Robert, who's been holding for a half an hour here. Robert, you're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind? No cussing.
No, I won't swear or nothing like that. My name's Bruno the Doberman. I'm a very concerned person.
Okay.
I was wondering why. I'm very curious. Why do you have a scanner in there? Is that to alert the cops who can shut down the computers? Because Ian Freeman's neighborhood was putting up pedophile posters all over his neighborhood, and you guys are going camping with children. I don't think that's too safe where I'm sitting right now. You see what I'm saying? So
I have a child. What do you think about that? Ian has been left alone with my child.
Oh, my God. You should take him to a psychiatrist very soon or an exorcist.
Well, he hasn't been left alone with you. Thanks for the call. 855-450-3733. Let's go to
Next.
Jim. Calling in from, Philadelphia. Probably not. No cussing, Jim.
And it's probably also not Jim. He's going to give a different name.
It's not Jim, yeah.
Hello?
What's your real name, Jim?
It's Jim.
Yeah, okay.
Same guy.
All right, go ahead. What's on your mind?
Okay. No, it's in response to all these calls. I had been in a similar scenario. I'm actually local. I'm originally from Westmoreland.
Okay.
And, all these calls coming in, I don't think they realize how detrimental it can be.
Before you go on, Jim, I got a question for you. Who made the bell in the town hall at in Westmoreland?
Excuse me?
Who made the bell in the town hall in Westmoreland?
No, I grew up. I was little when I moved out there.
Okay, well, it's the only famous thing in Westmoreland. And I think anybody from Westmoreland can answer that question. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, irrelevant.
No, it's relevant because it's the only famous thing there.
It takes
away
your
credibility.
credibility.
The answer is Paul Revere.
Yeah, I think anybody with Google could also find that information.
They could, but not that quickly.
Well, I probably would have Googled it. Right? No, I was a child,
All right.
But,
we were all children at one point.
What road you live on?
Jesus. So
Jesus Road in Westmoreland?
Excuse me?
You lived on Jesus Road in Westmoreland? What road did you live on? You don't live there anymore, so it's not a problem.
I understand, but why really? I had a statement to make, but now it's turning to the point where.
Well, I understand when you throw out a fact.
Statement out.
When you throw out a fact, and I've been inundated with prankers all night long, lying about where they're from, lying about their names. I'm just going to ask you some questions about the fact. At this point, you can neither tell me the famous thing about Westmoreland, nor can you tell me the name of the road that you lived on.
It's not that I can't. Not that I can. It's irrelevant to the point. I'm trying to move on to the statement I'm trying to make.
You would have moved on a long time ago if you would have just said Route 9.
These crankers are really getting to you. You have to hear what I was
nothing's getting
say.
to me.
I'm not calling to call anyone
Spit it out.
raging pedophile or anything. I was in support. I was trying to say that when these people call up and make these accusations, and I had a similar thing happen to me, and I was going to share that story.
Go ahead, tell me the story.
Well, I just wanted to know, this raid that happened.
Are you going to tell me a story? Or are you going to ask me questions?
He's going to ask questions. Thank you for the call. Let's go to another person that's probably also a cranker, that's probably also going to say they want to tell a story and then ask a question. Questions and stories are two completely different things.
Interrogative from Walker. Calling in on Discord.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Gotcha. Didn't we just talk to you?
No, this is what people in the chat have been saying, but my real name is Daniel Walker. I know I am calling.
You just
from Brisbane,
called
Australia.
on the Skype. It's one call per evening.
I don't even have Skype.
You sound almost just like the guy that called on Skype. You got 20 seconds.
Okay, well, I'm not the guy that called in on Skype, and maybe us Australians do sound the same to you guys in America.
Do us Americans sound the same to you in Australia?
This isn't about accusing. Just so you know, this isn't. Sorry.
Do Americans sound the same to you in Australia?
Oh, you can tell the difference between a southerner and someone from up north. But
okay, great.
Yeah.
What's on your mind, Walker?
Well, again, I'm not accusing anyone of anything. This is just about a statement that was made. Someone called Tom or something called in before, and look, he was shooting from the hip and all of that sort of stuff, and I've got people in Discord that think I'm him, which I'm not, but. I just the way you responded to him, I just thought it was a little bit rough. You said
I don't treat crankers well. I mean,
I'm not cranking.
I didn't say you were. I said I don't treat them well. Are you clear on that?
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
and I also
excellent.
know you talk over the top of people a lot when they're trying to make a point. But my point is,
when they ramble,
nobody's tried to make a point all night.
Do you want to recant your statement about what you said about people who go to church touching kids? Because
I didn't say anything about people going to church touching kids. That's a damn lie.
Do you believe that? Do you believe that people who go to church are pedophiles?
There are lots of people that go to church. Some of them are probably pedophiles.
There's this thing called a Venn diagram, and there are circles. And, some people that go to church have touched little kids. That is an actual statement of fact.
Sure. Just like the Catholic Church, we know that, there's been a lot of priests, for an example, who, have been pedophiles like priests, but that's not the priesthood. And I think there's a lot of people who, seem to project and all of that sort of stuff. And I think it's
nobody
wrong.
said every person that has ever stepped foot inside of a church has touched little kids.
Look, I don't know about the listeners, but I'm pretty tired of talking about this freaking topic, to be honest with you. My goodness.
Thanks for the call, Walker. Really appreciate it. 855-450.
Let's go on with something meaningful that's actually going to have, move society along here. I mean, my goodness, people.
Tom in New Hampshire. You're on Free Talk Live.
Oh, here we go. This will move society forward.
Okay. Now, I got a point to make here, okay? Let's say Mark is at a dinner party and he has a glass of wine. And then he's driving home and he's got a tail light out. And so he gets stopped for that. One thing leads to another. And next thing he knows, he's blowing a .031.
Okay.
Which is...
That's legal?
Enough. That's enough to charge you if you've got a prior. So they charge him because of somebody else named Mark Edge who got busted for drunk driving 9 years ago.
Hold the line, Tom. Hold the line. 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. Free Talk Live.
The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful full-featured wallet that allows you to send and receive Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH, with anyone, anywhere in the world. It supports both single and multi-signature wallets and is available in multiple languages. The Bitcoin.com wallet is available on Windows, Linux, Mac, Android, and iOS devices. Use the Bitcoin.com wallet to buy, send, store, and receive both Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH. Learn more at wallet.bitcoin.com. That's wallet.bitcoin.com.
What's more profitable, running your business or doing bookkeeping? Doing your business, of course, but you want to keep your books so that you can maximize your tax savings, right? What if I told you that there's a person that's a bookkeeper, accountant, and law school graduate that's also a hardcore libertarian?
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I hate the state. I will aggressively help you to minimize your tax exposure and maximize profits, all while staying within the law.
Melanie's your best choice for your taxes and bookkeeping needs. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and check out our website, tax.freetalklive.com.
Do the letters IRS give you anxiety? I'm Dan Pilla. I've defended people from the IRS for more than 40 years. My book, How to Get Tax Amnesty, created the tax resolution industry and is responsible for helping hundreds of thousands of people. It can help you too. If you're a non-filer or facing IRS enforcement right now, your case is unique. You need real help, not cookie-cutter advice. My clients get my personal attention. Buy my book at danpilla.com and get a free consultation directly with me. That's danpilla.com. Let's start solving your tax problem right now.
This is Jessica Armand, founder of My Magic Mud. Our team helped organize a successful effort to remove fluoride from our city's water supply. This is our passion. My Magic Mud Oral Care purifies and brightens your smile naturally. GCN listeners, please support my family business by purchasing our products from your local health food store. We're also available at CVS Pharmacy, or visit us at mymagicmud.com and take 10% off now with coupon code GCN10.
Like most married couples, Dale and Barbara Patterson like to shake things up from time to time. The couple of 12 years says they've been able to keep their relationship spontaneous and interesting by bickering in all sorts of different positions and even different rooms.
There was a while there when our petty nitpicking got pretty predictable. Dale would finish harping on some stupid bullshit first, and before I had time to get a word in, he would just let out a groan, roll over, and fall asleep. Now he really takes his time ripping me a new one over every little thing.
Maybe we'll just pounce on each other the second we get home from work in the evening. And then just go right back at it in the morning. I mean, sometimes we'll look at each other directly in the eyes when we're having an argument. Other times she turns her back on me and I just scream at her from behind.
We're not exactly shy about doing it in public anymore. Dale gets pretty worked up when there are people around who could be watching or listening.
I still can't believe you forgot.
Not now.
Oh, come on.
I said not now.
Oh,
what?
Don't even.
Don't even what? I asked.
This is the Onion News Network.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
In Survivor Max 2, School Bites, Max must scavenge through a wasteland swarming with the undead. Desperate to find the medicine he needs, he discovers a community of survivors at his former school. Has he finally found the safe haven he's been looking for, or will he discover that school bites? Look for Survivor Max on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, and read Chapter 1 at survivormax.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live, it's a wild, wild ride this evening. Crank calls, wall to wall. You can get that here on Free Talk Live sometimes. Sometimes they're good.
That's why I love the show.
Yeah. I mean, you never know what you're going to get. Yeah. It's like a box of, well...
rocks.
Chocolate full of stuff that's not great.
Chocolate full of rocks.
I'm glad I haven't ever bit into a chocolate that has a rock in it. That would be really awful.
Yes. Yes, it would.
855-450-3733. You can call in and talk about whatever's on your mind. It's Mark with you.
The Libertarian Banker.
And Darryl.
If you go to freetalklive.com, right there on the page, when we're not on the air, you can sign up for our newsletter, and you can just pass through the thing that plays the show live when you go to freetalklive.com. Otherwise, at 3 hours a day between 7p and 10p Eastern Time, you just go through there, get our newsletter, find out what's going on with Free Talk Live, the new stations we add, and all kinds of events. Be the first one to find out what happened with the FBI raid.
Yep.
You don't have to listen. You don't have to listen to this nonsense. Just find out there. It's the newsletter. Let's go to. We had Tom on the line, and he was talking about drinking and driving, and I wasn't entirely clear. So, Tom, I kind of had to cut you off in the middle. So, please go ahead.
Now, okay, you got a glass of wine. You're driving home. You get stopped for a tail light out. You blow .031, and they charge Mark with second offense, DWI, where the threshold is .03, because somebody else named Mark Edge 9 years ago got busted for drunk driving, and therefore this makes it a repeat offense. He's got a prior, but it was a different Mark Edge. Most of us would say it's not fair to charge this defendant.
Sounds not fair, yeah.
But wouldn't their system realize that the birth dates don't add up? Maybe none of the driver's licenses match whatever the prior conviction was?
I bet it's happened, though.
I bet
Everything weird.
he didn't have hair like that either.
Anyway, what I'm getting at is, then how is it any fairer to blame all Muslims for the 9/11 attacks, or blame all the Mexicans for all these crimes? Or how was it any fairer when Governor Hugh Gallen signed legislation raising the drinking age to 20 back when I was 19 to punish me for crimes committed by other people my age, or any other collectivist type of group punishment because some category of people that isn't an armed organized force on a mission to commit this wrongdoing, some people that match that description happen to do some wrongdoing, so they're going to punish everybody or collectivize everybody like that. You know, that's my point. Is that's how to raise that argument, to shoot down the collectivist argument. Is it's not fair to punish Mark as a second offender for a crime committed by a different Mark Edge, and therefore it's also not fair to punish all Muslims for the 9/11 attacks, or punish all any category. You know what I'm saying?
So Tom, this is interesting coming from Tom, guys, because if I recall, he likes to call in and collectivize police officers as all criminals, and force. Well, I mean, you're collectivizing them and you're treating them each one like the collective. So just an interesting dichotomy there.
On a mission.
Well, they're not an organized force. They're a bunch of different organized forces. Some police departments are better than others, right?
Well, kind of like saying the Confederates aren't an organized force. You've got the 7th Louisiana and the 5th Georgia, but from the Union point of view, they were all the enemy. And likewise, not just the Japanese Army, but the Japanese Navy and the Japanese, all the divisions of the Japanese armed forces, they're all the enemy, including any local militia that might be.
Isn't that but that's collectivizing them, Tom.
Thanks for the call, Tom. I do appreciate it. 855-450-3733. Let's go to Dan from Nebraska. Calling in the Discord line, and you can do so too. Sound great. Discord.freetalklive.com. Dan, what's on your mind?
Well, I actually kind of want to talk in for kind of a meta call.
What is a meta call?
Meta means like
self-referential.
Huh? Yeah, self-referential, exactly.
Okay.
I've been listening to the show, and it's been almost kind of to me like how funny it is that it's unfunny. Like, I don't know how to put this in any other way except for
it's like a train wreck. It's that has wrecked numerous times.
It's Darryl, it's different than that though. Like, you know how in a way it's harder for conservatives to be funny because there's not necessarily the kind of subversive element that humorism usually needs. So you kind of get this like mess of people trying to be like punk with like the Pizzagate pedo stuff.
Sure.
Rush Limbaugh says that liberals aren't funny and only conservatives are funny.
I'm sorry?
Rush Limbaugh says liberals aren't funny, only conservatives are funny.
I want you to point out to me like any like conservative comedian that has like I need to know a few
Jeff Foxworthy. Like, it was kind of funny. Yeah. He is old school, but there you go.
Like,
Rush Limbaugh is a comedian. I mean,
Alex Jones kind of funny.
All right,
Alex
Jones, go on with your point. Let's just we'll presume your premise. Go ahead.
All right, that's kind of basically what I thought. Whenever I'm like,
you just want the pedo calls to stop?
No, you know what? I'm actually enjoying it in a way because I'm a really active troll on this Discord. I'm actually I'm a bant master extraordinaire. If you didn't know it, Mark.
Okay.
I'm the chief troll. Resident troll.
Oh, you're the leader of the trolls.
The
huh?
CTO.
I think I've heard you have
chief
competition.
Troll officer.
Yes.
Okay.
It is true. It's a pretty rough chat though. I think these Aussies are going to become the new lol. They're going to become the new lol cows of the Discord. The people we milk for the lols.
I see. So you milk a lol cow for lols. That makes sense.
Completely cringe-worthy attempts at humor. I was made fun of too, by the way. Just for some solidarity with Ian.
Are we talking about in high school or?
No, I think he means
in the Discord.
within the last couple of days.
Yeah,
Discord high school.
Bipolar Zach used to make fun of me for wearing nail polish, but like, you know what? I'll tell you what, it gets you girls. And the other thing I was
nail polish gets you girls. The boy, have things changed.
Yeah, I mean, wow.
Because nail polish when I went to high school would just get you beat up.
I've gotten a lot more attention.
All right. Well, you know,
but,
I will admit things have changed. Dan, thanks for the
call. It's
call.
least expensive than a car.
Yeah, you're not paying $500 a month for nail polish, or at least I hope you're not.
There's some out there that do.
Let's take Lloyd calling in from Detroit. Huh? Lloyd, you're on Free Talk Live. Lloyd, what's on your mind? Putting Lloyd back on hold.
Yeah.
Vernon Nolans. Vernon, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, just wanted to talk a little bit about Russia and Trump, if that's all right.
Sure.
Go for it.
I am okay. So I'm kind of on the wall about this. I'm really glad, in my personal opinion, that Trump has been actually reaching out to Putin and meeting one-on-one with him, despite the media's commentary. Not you specifically, but just in general. The tone of the media seems to be like, "Oh, he meddled in our elections. They've done such evil things," and he's continuing to try to build this relationship with Putin. And I feel like it's a good thing, because I feel like he's trying to reach out in a peaceful way instead of trying to just continue to ramp up this. I feel like it's a new Cold War, to be honest. And I just wanted to get y'all's input on that.
I'd say in some ways the Cold War never ended, because you've got people, largely let's call them conservatives, that want to maintain the Cold War. We have to have the great enemy.
That's true.
I think that's true. I think that many people in the media and many of the liberal types right now, Russia's become their Benghazi, and they're going to just beat that horse until, well, I don't know. It's already dead. Best I can tell. Maybe they'll find something. Again, I'm not making predictions. This isn't something I care a great deal about. If I wanted to go after Russia, the thing I would go after them for is Malaysia Airlines Flight 17 that was coming out of Amsterdam, that was shot down in back in, I think it was like 2015 or something like that. It's been some time, that was shot down in Ukraine or whatever, and it looked a whole bunch like Russia did it.
Yeah.
As opposed to whether or not okay, let's talk about meddling in elections. First, we need to establish the United States has meddled in a whole bunch of elections. If you don't care about the United States meddling in elections, you are a xenophobic bigot. You think that only America matters because all these other people's elections just aren't important. So first off, America, big perpetrator in this particular crime. So if it happened, it's just desserts. Secondly, if Russia, why wouldn't some other country want to be involved? Why does AIPAC exist?
Yeah.
Because Israel wants to influence U.S. elections, okay? Countries want to influence the United States election.
Politicians buy ads on TV to influence elections.
You don't want your server hacked? Do better security. That's what my thoughts are on this. It's just Democrat for Benghazi, 855-450-3733. Vernon, thanks for the call.
If you or anyone you love has been diagnosed with lung cancer, asbestosis, or mesothelioma, your diagnosis may be the result of job-related exposure to asbestos, and you may be entitled to compensation. Over $30 billion in trusts have been set aside for individuals who have been affected by asbestos exposure. How do you protect your rights and get the compensation you deserve? Call Capital Legal Group now at 800-400-LUNG. Capital Legal Group is one of the nation's resources for settlement of lung cancer and mesothelioma cases. Law firms have successfully recovered over $2.7 billion for their clients in all 50 states, and claims have been paid in as little as 60 days. If you or a family member were diagnosed with lung cancer, asbestosis, or mesothelioma, call Capital Legal Group now at 800-400-LUNG. We'll open a no-cost case review on your behalf. A history of tobacco use or cigarette smoking will not disqualify your case. Visit 800-400-LUNG.com or call 800-400-LUNG. Call 800-400-5864 now. That's 800-400-LUNG.
I love My Magic Mud. I drink a lot of coffee. I had stains on my teeth. Then I found My Magic Mud, and I was told it would remove stains. So I paid attention when I brushed the first time. My Magic Mud is black tooth powder, and the difference it made in my teeth in one application was noticeable. With 4, my teeth were as white as you normal folks out there. Please go to mymagicmud.com and buy a jar. There's 150 applications for $25. You can use Bitcoin, mymagicmud.com. The 3 most important things you can do for Free Talk Live are 1. Share 1 episode a week on Facebook or in some other social networking site. 2. Buy the things you buy online through shop.freetalklive.com. 3. Give $5 a month to the AMP program. It's my firm belief that Free Talk Live's AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented organizations. Support all the organizations you love. But make sure you give $5 a month to AMP at amp.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Darryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for the weekend of July 21st, 22nd, 2018. Silver is trading at $15.52 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,232 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $27, and the average price of Bitcoin is $7,360. Antiwar.com reports with the Syrian rebel factions having been defeated or negotiated surrender deals, the first rebels from the territory around the frontier with the Israeli-occupied Golan Heights have started to evacuate the area, heading north to the rebel-held Idlib province. Various rebel-held cities, towns, and villages all accepted roughly the same deal negotiated by the Russians. Under the deal, rebel factions agree to either submit to government rule, disarming and remaining where they are, or evacuate into the north. Buses arrived in the southern part of the Quneitra province on Friday and started loading up both rebels and any civilians that wanted to leave, departing for the north. Exactly how many fled is not entirely clear. Reuters, however, reported that from the Israeli-held side of the frontier, they could see large numbers of cars and trucks packed with people withdrawing from a village on the Syrian side. This withdrawal leaves just a handful of towns held by the Islamic State along the southern border outside of government control and presumably the next targets of the offensive. Are you looking for a cryptocurrency that has a focus on users and usability? Then look into Zencash. Zencash has the ability to use both transparent and shielded transactions, with shielded transactions using zero-knowledge proofs. Zencash features global governance with inclusive decision-making, reliable funding for continuous improvements, and documentation and wallets in many languages that are available for Linux, Mac, Windows, and Android devices. Learn more at zencash.com. That's zencash.com. UPI reports an independent investigation into sexual assault allegations against a now-deceased sports doctor at Ohio State University has uncovered more than 100 former students who said they were abused, according to a statement by the school on Friday. The accusers, including both athletes and patients at Student Health Services, said Dr. Richard Strauss committed acts of sexual misconduct between 1979 and 1996. Other patients of Strauss's private practice, which was started in 1996, also lodged complaints against him. Investigators interviewed more than 200 former students and university staff as part of the probe and intended to talk to 100 more. The investigation is being carried out by Perkins Cole LLP, an international law firm that has been in communication with the Franklin County Prosecutor's Office. The investigatory team said it also plans to review whether Strauss examined any high school-age students during his time at The Ohio State University. Strauss died in 2005. You can support FPP Radio by joining the Fans program. Fans are friends, allies, and numerous supporters. Fans help FPP afford to produce more original content. You can join the Fans program for as little as $1 per month through Patreon and get perks like ad-free versions of FPP Radio News and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio. To learn more or to join the Fans program, visit fans.fppradio.com. Reuters reports Ohio Governor John Kasich on Friday commuted the death sentence of a convicted double murderer after a former juror in the man's trial asked that he not be put to death because the panel was not given key information during the sentencing about his troubled childhood. Kasich said there were fundamental flaws in the sentencing for Raymond Tibbetts and ordered him to serve life in prison without the possibility of parole. The governor's office said in a statement, the defense's failure to present sufficient mitigating evidence, coupled with an inaccurate description of Tibbetts' childhood by the prosecution, essentially essentially prevented the jury from making an informed decision about whether Tibbetts deserved the death penalty. Earlier this year, Kasich halted the execution to consider a letter from former juror Ross Geiger. In the letter, Geiger said there was no question Tibbetts committed the murder, but factors about the defendant's upbringing were omitted or distorted by prosecutors in the trial's sentencing phase. Geiger said several years after the trial, he read a publicly available clemency report from 2017 that showed a history of abandonment for Tibbetts starting at age 2, and that of the 4 siblings, one committed suicide, another spent time in prison, and another is essentially homeless. He faulted the defense team for not calling the one sibling of Tibbetts who is leading a stable life and was willing to testify during the sentencing about the difficult childhood they all shared. Geiger said Tibbetts deserves to be in prison, but based on what he knows today, I would not have recommended the death penalty. Aaron Barnhart, an attorney for Tibbetts, said the jury was deprived of crucial information about his client's abusive upbringing. Clemency has been granted in 288 cases since the U.S. Supreme Court reinstated the death penalty in 1976, with the bulk coming from states that eventually repealed the death penalty. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
A report on obesity rates released this week by the CDC confirmed that millions of courageous Americans continue to overcome the media's persistent pressure to be thin. Researchers told reporters that while the vast majority of film and television continues to portray thin, in-shape people, over 30% of Americans remain resolved in their effort to stand up to idealized images of men and women.
Every day, people are inundated with unvarying images of slim men and women, but millions of heroic Americans continue doing their best every day to maintain BMIs of 35 or higher. These people aren't afraid to fly in the face popular culture deems acceptable and bravely eat and drink whatever they want, whenever they want.
In other news, the nation's single men announce a plan to change their bed sheets by 2019. A woman who left the room crying earlier expects to jump back into the party just like that. And a courtroom artist is clearly infatuated with the bailiff. This 2.5-minute long session of immersion therapy is finally complete. Your crippling fear of watching video news recaps should no longer be a problem. For more, keep checking theonion.com.
It's Free Talk Live, kicking off the third hour. It's Mark with you.
The Libertarian Banker.
And Darryl.
Libertarian Banker, thanks for stopping in and spending the show with us.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, appreciate it.
New Hampshire, it's so nice up here. And the funniest thing that I've noticed about New Hampshire is the road signs have the man's face on it, the face in the rock.
Yeah.
Which apparently he doesn't even have a nose now. Didn't his face fall off?
The entire face fell off.
The old man on the mountain.
There is still a caretaker for the old man on the mountain.
Is that an elected position or appointed?
It's an honorary appointment. They have no real duties. It's just somebody that the governor wishes to appoint.
The one in 2004 or whatever, when the face fell off, clearly wasn't doing his job.
Right. So I'm wondering, can we sue the caretaker for dereliction of duty?
What good would it do?
It would be humorous. It would be more humorous than some of the stuff that's happened on this show earlier tonight.
Well, yeah, there's no shortage of that. 855-450-3733. We're going to take your calls here. Looks like we got, maybe. I tried to take Lloyd in Detroit previously. We'll see whether or not he's still on the line. Lloyd, you're on Free Talk Live.
Yo, what's up? It's Lloyd from Detroit. Yeah, man, these callers tonight have been freaking boring, dude. I'm not even kidding.
Thank you.
Really... Yeah, well, no, seriously. And, dude, the British guy, oh, my God. That guy's been calling for, like, a few nights. But earlier tonight, he was like, yeah, well, if I got a laptop back from the FBI, I would just open it up and check the flux capacitor and make sure it was all working correctly. What an idiot, dude. But, yeah.
I'm not going to use any equipment that I have gotten from the FBI after they're doing some kind of investigation. And everybody I've talked to, when you get a piece of equipment back from the FBI, it's non-functional. So
right.
That's just, that's anecdotal. I don't know for certain, but I wouldn't be interested. One thing I can tell you about the FBI raid is in 2 cases, they removed a portion of the hard drives from a computer. Why would they leave, if they don't know, if they're taking all the equipment and they're saying, well, it could be on this camera, it could be on this, or they don't have any idea, why would they leave some of the hard drives and take some of the hard drives? To me, that says either A, it's retributive, for us talking on the air, or B, they were going to put something on the hard drive. And it's been 2.5 years, in which case they haven't done that, so I can only presume it's retributive. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I just think he's a total idiot. But yeah, it was really interesting, though, how Mark earlier was talking about jiu-jitsu, because as a matter of fact, I was doing some naked jiu-jitsu with Lauren Rumpler last night.
Yeah, I seriously doubt that happened. Lloyd, thank you for the call.
855-450-3733. I knew it was a crank.
It's a good one, though. Hey, I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. Better than the ones
He's one of the better crank callers. He's infatuated with Lauren Rumpler.
Well, she's a young, attractive woman. There's no doubt why. And she was here on the air for some time. I don't know exactly. I can't remember exactly why Lauren's not on the air anymore, but whatever.
She stopped wanting to drive from Manchester, probably.
It's an hour and a half.
Yeah.
No doubt. So we were on a story, believe it or not, and the story was something that I've suspected for a very long time. It may not be the best science behind this study, but then again, it's hard to do science when you're studying real life. But basically that it seems like immigrants are more entrepreneurial than Americans are. That we have enjoyed our lifestyle. We have expectations of how we're going to be taken care of. Whereas when people come from other countries, they're like, woo, I got freedom to open a business.
They're more willing to make a risk.
Yep.
People that have, I'm going to say basically nothing. And I don't mean,
it's not to be
nothing. But they're more willing to take risk than somebody that has stuff.
Yep.
I realize, you can't start a business with nothing. You have to have something, but you're more willing to risk all of that for, the huge potential. And there are studies that show that in different sort of scenarios, people are more willing to hold on to a guarantee than to risk it on a potential. Whereas if you have nothing and, hey, if you do fill in the blank, you could get $1 million or $1 billion. All right, yeah, I'll take that risk. Or you've got $10,000, you can, put it up and then here's the odds of it becoming X. Well, no, I'll just keep the guaranteed.
Yeah, your downside as an immigrant coming to the country is limited and your upside is limitless almost.
Right, and Mark, you've talked about you've got a friend that came here from Romania with like $100 in his pocket.
Yep, he was going to college. He had gotten some kind of ability to go to college, and it was wise of the United States to keep him. He's been very successful. But what I think of oftentimes when I think of immigrants is, people that'll come over and say, start a restaurant. Let's use Chinese food restaurants, for instance.
Yes.
Many times you'll think an American first wants, first I got to have a car, then I've got to have an apartment, then I've got to, then I might be, then I've got to be steady and have the nest egg and open the business and all that other stuff. A lot of these people say, I'm going to get me a storefront and I'm going to start serving food. And I'll sleep in the back with the rats if I have to, or whatever. I'll sleep out by the dumpster, and I'm going to make money. I'm going to be successful so I can get my family over here. That's a whole different way of approaching things. I'm not saying that there's rats.
And it kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier about behavior and your finances and your the way you succeed in life is based on your behaviors. It's not based on anything else but that. It's not luck. It's you worked your tail off for it.
Right. And I've heard, some people, especially those that are anti-immigrant, one of the arguments that they have is, did you know that they have like 5 families living in the same house? And like they're being smart financially. What's the problem?
I think that, if you're living next door to 5 families and they don't keep the place clean, you're probably going to be upset.
Yes.
And there's a whole bunch of kids.
Complain about them being dirty, not there's 5 families living there.
Sure.
But the vast majority of people that are running a small business that have multiple families living in one place, pulling all their money, they're not making a mess because they know they've got a business to maintain. They have stuff at stake.
Understood.
And that's really evidenced by this study that we were doing from the National Foundation for American Policy. This was from March 2016. I won't go into the executive summary, but the gist of it is that immigrants have started more than half of America's startup companies that were valued at $1 billion or more.
Okay.
Privately owned.
Privately owned, not public companies. So these are people who have, from the ground up, founded a company, grew it to $1 billion without any public or IPO, stock infusion, and over half of them. Immigrants have founded, and it just goes to show the work ethic behind these people.
Right.
And Darryl, I was reading the list. You and I were kind of looking through the list.
Yeah, we found out on page 13 of this 33-page document, and I will post the link to this thing on the Facebook and the Twitter.
So you can study it ad nauseum.
So it doesn't actually define startup, but it sounds like, and Banker, you had speculated that this means company that was not spun off from another company.
Sure, started by an individual, a startup,
right.
started from nothing.
One of these, for instance, is Bloom Energy, headquartered in Sunnyvale, California, founded in 2001. K.R. Sridhar from India is the founder. It's a power generation company. They now have 1,200 employees, $2.9 billion valuation.
An energy company is going to have a high valuation because it's costly to do what they do.
Some of these other ones, FanDuel, which some people might be familiar with, their founders are all Brits. They have a $1.3 billion valuation. They were founded in 2011. They only have 159 employees. So they've got a very streamlined company.
Nice.
Some of these have less than 300 or 400 employees.
Yeah, nothing will ruin your day like an employee.
So Uber, everybody knows Uber. Great company, use it all the time. That was started by an immigrant. $51 billion valuation, 900 employees.
An immigrant to the United States, of course. Now they've gone global.
He was from Canada, though.
Okay.
Does that count?
Yeah.
It counts in the study.
It does to me.
I didn't know Elon Musk was South African.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No.
Wow. You have to watch the YouTube channel. Musk Watch! 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. Free Talk Live.
What is it costing you in vet bills for that convenience of just pulling open a bag of
formulated, extruded, processed cereal bits that cost a ton of money anyways?
How do you feed your dog to derive not only energy, but a good coat, bright eyes, and a great attitude?
Come to Dinovite for help.
DINOVITE.com.
I found his raw meat diet on Dinovite.com with just the raw meat and the eggs and the Dinovite and the Super Omega on top of it.
Try Super Omega Fish Oil.
Buy 2, get 1 free.
Ground beef, white rice, eggs, including the shells, and the Dinovite supplement, and then the Lico Chops.
Try Lico Chops. Buy 2, get 1 free.
It just balances out his body and his mind and his spirit.
Adding Dinovite to their diet has every single dog in my kennel looking better than they have ever looked.
Their skin is so much better now that they're on the raw diet. I don't even give them the kibble anymore. DINOVITE.com.
What's more profitable, running your business or doing bookkeeping? Doing your business, of course, but you want to keep your books so that you can maximize your tax savings, right? What if I told you that there's a person that's a bookkeeper, accountant, and law school graduate that's also a hardcore libertarian?
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I hate the state. I will aggressively help you to minimize your tax exposure and maximize profits, all while staying within the law.
Melanie's your best choice for your taxes and bookkeeping needs. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and check out our website, tax.freetalklive.com.
The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful full-featured wallet that allows you to send and receive Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH, with anyone, anywhere in the world. It supports both single and multi-signature wallets and is available in multiple languages. The Bitcoin.com wallet is available on Windows, Linux, Mac, Android, and iOS devices. Use the Bitcoin.com wallet to buy, send, store, and receive both Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH. Learn more at wallet.bitcoin.com. That's wallet.bitcoin.com.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippie! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadati.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
Did you know you can watch Free Talk Live during our live show 7 days a week from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern via our studio cams at cam.freetalklive.com? Plus, you can chat with other listeners while you watch, all totally free. Now that our live video stream is hosted by YouTube, our video archives will be online even faster. So be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Listen, watch, and chat all free at cam.freetalklive.com. That's cam.freetalklive.com. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. It's a live Sunday edition. You can call in and talk about whatever's on your mind. The number 855-450-3733. It's Mark with you.
Libertarian Banker.
And Darryl.
855-450-FREE. Tell you about my Blink home security system, actually. I used it last night.
I have one as well.
Did you?
Awesome. I bought one with your URL.
Lots of listeners have, I can tell you that. We know that, well, they keep coming back, and we get some idea of their numbers. We're hitting their goal as far as sales. They don't sell for much. They're only like $125 or something for one of these systems. And then we get you a 15% discount. Again, don't quote me on that number. I haven't looked at each individual one. I don't have it sitting in front of me, but I'm just giving you a roundabout for the numbers. And it's great. It takes almost no time to set up. Now, for me, I was up a little later than I thought than I should be because I have it set for even 11:30 or midnight. I'm not exactly sure what it was. I was still up, and it caught me on camera. And so my phone...
You got to notice somebody walked in front of the camera.
Right.
Who is that?
See yourself walking in underwear across the
That's right.
What was it like that scene in Spaceballs?
Yes.
Where you're watching yourself, and then you wave, and then you see yourself wave?
Oh, no. I thought you said, we find nothing. All right.
No.
855-450-3733.
So finish telling us how one can find a Blink home security camera so that they can also startle themselves at their house.
Yeah, that's right. I've nearly forgotten here. You can get 3 Blink cams for way less than the other guys charge, and an extra 15% off. You visit blinkprotect.com/FTL. That's blinkprotect.com/FTL. And I cannot stress to you how inexpensive and easy this is to set up. blinkprotect.com/FTL. Let's go to Matt calling in from Lynchburg. Matt, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, guys, I caught the tail end of your last segment, so
yes.
Pardon me if I don't have an accurate interpretation.
No problem.
My issue with what I heard is this. When someone comes on the air and they just start talking with broad brushstrokes about immigration, it automatically creates the impression that anyone who's against illegal immigration is against all immigration.
I think they kind of are. Because if you support the morass, the bureaucratic morass, I mean, do you like dealing with the government?
Well,
do you think they're fair people?
I think we have laws, and we have to have laws.
Does the government follow the laws?
Orderly. Okay, let me ask you this: if you go
you're not going to answer the question.
Football, well, just listen. If you go to a high school football game on Friday night, that's fenced in, and people have tickets, and they need to know who comes in. You pay. So why would it be any different at our borders? Your local pool. There's plenty of people going to public pools in the summer. They're fenced in. You have to come through the gate. But somehow when it comes to the border, if you say, well, no, you should go through the proper channels and let us vet you, then somehow you're against anybody coming in. that's sort of the impression it creates when you just give these broad stats.
Hold on. So you're talking about completely different things. So you said that when you go to a football game, you show them a ticket. You said that when you come to America, you have to be vetted. Those are completely different processes. I have never, when attending a sporting event, had to go through background checks to be able to enter the arena.
I've gotten a pat down.
Well, you didn't cut a hole in the fence and sneak in either, did you?
Well, the United States would probably be a lot better off if they let people, if they sold tickets.
Doing that, they would have sent you out of that football game or out of the pool or out of anything for that matter.
Well, you're talking about buying tickets, and at this point, many of these immigrants are spending $10,000 to sneak across the border. Most illegal immigrants here, if you want to make a big deal about illegal immigrants, are here overstaying visas. But regardless, but people who – it's always about the border crossers, the people that would rather swim the Rio Grande than climb the mountain of paperwork that it costs to get on the border. And, by the way, age out.
Well, and listen, the article we were reading was about what immigrants add to our society and to America. I mean, it's night and day what we're talking about here. And so I'm not asking what is the law. I'm asking what is right, what is good for America, and that
what is good for America.
I mean,
what's good for humanity?
All right,
absolutely.
Let me ask you this.
I don't care about the pool.
We could say that thing about any demographic. For example, I could say black males in these certain jobs have contributed this in sports and athletics or whatever. You pick any job where black males. What am I now supposed to ignore? What's going on in Chicago and the killing? That 80% black males and the victims are
those are Americans.
Black males and Latinos. 93% of the victims are either black or Latino.
What are you doing?
Those are Americans.
What are you going to do about the black male problem, though? You see, that's the thing. Is that if you attempt to do something about a black male problem, you'll be quickly labeled as a racist, right?
Exactly. That's
there you go.
When you not
lumping everybody together. Here's what I'm saying. Listen to this.
No.
Open borders. Wait, before we go on,
it's
Matt.
A fact.
What?
It's not lumping.
I didn't claim it wasn't, Matt. I asked what you were going to do about it.
But then it's not racist. If I say
I didn't say it was.
80% of the victims in Chicago are black, that's not racist.
I didn't claim that you were racist. I just said that there's nothing you're going to do about the black problem. And here's my other point. Openborders.org, a place full of economists. The Cato Institute, another place full of economists who have studied this exhaustively, say that the world would see a doubling, a one-time doubling of the world GDP. That means we all make a lot more money if we just stop this whole, let's make sure that this group of people who were born on that side of this line can't go over here and make a better life for themselves thing. Do you want to be richer, Matt?
You can't. Well, you can't say
yes,
I'm going to ignore the law because I financially.
Matt,
have you ever? Have you ever driven
this point makes me so sick.
On the
slaves,
interstate.
when they escaped from the plantation they ignored the law. The Quakers, when they hid them in their barns, ignored the law. The people that hid the Jews ignored the law. The law is written by liars and thieves, and you know it. So I say, if it's a good law, you ought to follow it. If it's a bad law, you ought not to. Because Washington, D.C. doesn't follow your laws. Cops don't follow your laws. When's the last time you saw a police officer pull another police officer over and give him a ticket for rolling through a stop sign? Don't pretend like the lowest and the poorest of us have to follow laws and the rest don't.
Well, that's not the way the world is.
That is the way the world is. I haven't said anything counterfactual yet.
You can pull out you can pull out small examples that are statistically so insignificant, and you can find a little example every day to reinforce what you already believe. But if you look at the big picture,
what big picture are you? What big picture am I missing?
How about $1 billion companies? Is that a big picture?
How about the big picture that the average American commits 3 felonies a day because there are so many damn laws, nobody knows what is legal and what is not?
Well, the only people I see getting away with things are the politicians.
And they write the laws.
100%, brother.
Well,
You believe
Yeah,
them?
but
You want to follow what they do?
No, he just wants to complain.
You'll never get law and order. Law and order's a phantom. It's like asking.
If you don't have borders, you don't have a country.
Bull.
I mean, would you agree?
Bull. No, tell me the time in history that a country has had borders like the United States.
I think just about every country.
Nope,
get it closed.
not one.
All those lines come from
Thank you for the call. This is Free Talk Live.
Hi, I'm Patrick Colbeck, and I'm running for governor. Michigan auto insurance rates are almost twice the national average. We need to lower costs, but at the same time, we need to protect the lifetime benefits for those who are injured. Using my engineering problem-solving know-how, I have found a way to lower costs by a minimum of 40% while still retaining lifetime benefits. Do you realize that 58% of my own insurance premium is due to state mandates? If we eliminate those mandates, our insurance rates can be lowered to near the national average. Principled Solutions prioritize your best interests, not lobbyists. Paid for by Patrick Colbeck for governor.
This is Jessica Armand, creator of the fluoride-free oral care brand, My Magic Mud. You're going to love our new products. Our cutting-edge oral rinses deeply soothe your mouth and fight cavities naturally. Our breath spray, My Magic Mist, will invigorate your senses with essential oils of peppermint and eucalyptus. Our clinically proven toothpaste and tooth powders whiten your teeth and detoxify your mouth. Buy discounted bundles direct at mymagicmud.com and take 10% off with coupon code GCN10. mymagicmud.com.
Hey guys, Mark Claire here, lionsofliberty.com, where we strive to advance the ideas of liberty daily. We bring you the Morning Roar. That's right, every Monday to Friday we'll have a brand new edition of the Morning Roar, where we provide a roundup of some news stories that you may not find in the mainstream media or even in your typical social media newsfeed. We find stories that relate to the ideas of liberty and provide you with our liberty perspective on them. Every Monday, we have our longest-running feature, Mondays with Murray, named after the great libertarian Murray Rothbard, where we'll examine an article or an excerpt from his works and help convey his view, along with our little spin as well. We wrap it all up every Friday with Felony Friday, where our own John Odermatt goes out and takes a look at some sort of felony. There's felonies committed every day, you know, whether it's a felony committed by the police, a politician, or even an average citizen. You can find all of this and so much more over at lionsofliberty.com. Advancing the ideas of liberty daily.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on-demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long-distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447. Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live Sunday edition. It's Mark with you.
Libertarian Banker.
And Darryl.
855-450-3733. We've been across the board tonight. You never know what you're going to get on Free Talk Live. Tonight, payday loans, car payments, debt management, trolls talking about pedophilia. Immigrants are more entrepreneurial than your average folks, which makes sense. I mean, a gentleman called in, sort of claiming that it felt like we were kind of lumping immigrants in with illegal immigrants. I support free people crossing the borders of free countries freely. If free people can't cross the borders of free countries, you don't have free people and you don't have free countries.
Right.
Now, I understand the law and order setup. I believe that this country should have far fewer laws and we should obey them. But when it comes to this...
If they're just.
However, when it comes to immigration, I think we need to look at the facts. Yeah, it's a fact. People have committed misdemeanors by crossing the border. But it's also a fact that the United States was built by immigrants, and it had a porous border at least until the 1960s. And you can't say that countries exist without strong borders. The only country that has stronger borders than the United States is North Korea. Countries have existed throughout mankind. 9,000 years of countries have existed without strong borders.
Right. The first immigration law in the United States was the Chinese Exclusion Act in 1872.
Which means the country had been around for 100 years before any problems, any claims of immigrants being a problem.
And Darryl told me earlier, according to Ann Coulter, her descendants were not immigrants; they were settlers.
Her ancestors.
Her ancestors, yeah. Yeah, sorry.
They were settlers, not immigrants.
Yeah,
as if there's a difference.
And look, here's my policy. For those that don't know yet, I'm going to make it clear one more time. Anybody should be able to come to this country. They shouldn't receive one single penny of your tax dollars, unless you want to give. You can give them money if you want, but
then it's
no
not
tax
a tax
dollars.
dollar.
No tax dollars, and that they should never be able to vote. And that's going to solve the vast majority of people's concerns that surround immigrants. You would see a whole big change, because here's the problem. The problem's socialism. It's not immigration. Because governments throughout time have wanted more and more and more people, because people are a resource.
Tax cattle.
But now that we have socialism, you got to take care of everybody. And obviously somebody who's used to a lower standard of living could live on the small amount of money that they get from the government, and hey, life is great. No problems here. That's what I say is the problem. Socialism's the problem, not immigration. You need to define your premises.
Yeah.
Right. And then there are also the people that will say that open borders is socialist. Point to a socialist country that has open borders. I'll wait.
I can't think of one, but I'm sure.
Right. I'll keep
it's
waiting
just not gonna
because
work.
Nobody can point to one.
Socialism isn't going to work with free immigration, in my opinion.
Right.
Let's go to Sarah calling in from New Mexico about democratic socialists.
Oh, yes. I have been letting you know for years that I'm a Democrat socialist.
I thought you said you're a communist, but all right.
It's a new buzzword.
The thing about it is that we really are communists, but I think we have to change the number because of bad stigma.
Okay.
So people think that socialism and communism is a different thing, but in essence it's the same thing.
All right.
But so that's what I am. But I don't know if socialism is immigration, but what I know is that Social Security, pension, Medicaid, retirement, they're all socialist programs. And welfare, and by the way, disability is a communist program, and that's why you guys attack it so much, and that's why you attack me. So
how are you disabled?
I don't think we've ever attacked you. We've attacked your policies.
Well, yeah, and always criticizes me that I'm getting a free, that I should work, but I'm just taking something from other people. He's always bashed me about.
Have you ever heard of any? Have you ever met anybody? I mean, I presume you meet people who are on disability. There's probably a disability office or something, right? Have you ever met any of these people that you feel like could work and make money and pay taxes?
Well, you know what? Why should I judge other people when that's how they look at me?
Well, that's what humans do. Humans judge other people, Sarah. So, Have you ever looked at another person receiving disability and said to yourself, I don't think they're really that disabled? Has that ever gone through your head?
How can I say that? Well, that's what people say about me. People say that theirs looks like nothing wrong with me. Ian says that I call in and talk about red light cameras all the time. I could work. Okay, but I don't know. He's a computer guy. He's a computer geek. He acts like he has a degree in psychology. So what he's really attacking is a communist program.
How can I go about getting this free money that you get? I mean, I want some free money. How do I go about doing it?
Well, why don't you put yourself in a mental hospital, okay? And
I'm sure that I could qualify. Somebody would be happy to let me in a mental hospital.
Tell us the juicy details on how you get around welfare or the welfare requirements. Let's go.
Well, that's what happened to me.
Yeah.
I wind up in a mental hospital. I lived on the streets for 10 years, and so they tried to sign me up for disability, so I finally signed up. So what you're saying is you're attacking communism when we take care of people that need help.
We don't take care of them. The government steals money from people and then
spends it poorly.
Does a bad job of taking care of people. Charities are going to do a lot better job. But I will admit, charities are probably not going to be likely to support people who are sort of marginally disabled. You know, the ones that could maybe work, right? Like you probably could go to work, right, Sarah? Like you could get up every day at 8 a.m., get ready, go to work, and do something. I mean, it may not be the greatest job in the world, but you could do something, right?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, I could talk on the radio, but are you guys going to pay me? You guys are the one that's always asking me for money.
So, Sarah,
how much do you want?
When have we ever asked you specifically for money, Sarah?
Well, on the radio, you always put those people that pay the money onto some.
Oh, the amplifiers.
Put them on the. So I call in and talk about pedestrian fatalities. Are you going to pay me $1,000?
You're not providing enough value.
$1,000 a call?
Wow!
You have a really unrealistic view of how much money we make here at Free Talk
Sarah,
Live.
when I was a banker at a bank branch, one of our customers was a company who hired mentally disabled adults to make trinkets, gifts. They did like promo items, stuff like that. And their entire staff of about 250 people were mentally disabled adults. And so there are programs out there that you could go to work. They are accommodating. They'll, so you not being able to go to work, that's not it. It's that you don't want to.
She wouldn't answer the question as to whether or not she could go to work. Could you, Sarah?
Well, the thing is, I have not. I really cannot work on the books. I have not worked since I cracked up, since I got put in the mental hospital. I have no work record.
Well, I can understand why you wouldn't want to, Sarah, because, if you did go to work, then you'd lose the disability, and who wants to do that? See, there's no reentry program, really. They don't have a way where you can I'd like to test this out and see if I'm ready, because then they'll just, if they think, oh, well, she says she's ready to go back to work, and they yank it away, and then it's years until she can get it back.
The little baby bird, you just get kicked out of the nest, and there's no going back to the nest.
See, the government stinks, Sarah. It's not trying to get you back in the workforce, and you're not trying to go.
You know what? If they cut my check off, do you think that I would get a job? I just wind up back homeless.
Yeah, I just told you about a program where they hire mentally disabled adults, and you've said in the past that you have a mental disability, not a physical, correct?
Right.
Right. So why don't you go work for one of these places?
Well, I'm going to stay in one of the New Hampshire the shelters that you guys support and panhandle you guys when you come out of your house. That's
awesome.
What I'm going to do. Cut my check off.
Awesome.
You know what I mean?
How are you going to get to New Hampshire?
It's called 100 Nights Shelter. It's open 100 nights a year, and it's only open in the evenings when it's really cold.
Yeah. And Sarah is correct that socialism and communism are basically the same thing. Bastiat even throws in what he referred to as protectionism, which is basically fascism, says they're the same plant in 3 different stages of development.
855-450-3733. Free Talk Live. Or LRN.FM is our username on Skype. Free Talk Live.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynovite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynovite.
Dynovite for life.
Pick up 2 tubes of Doggosuds.
Get the 3rd tube free.
Peppermint, tea tree, lavender, Doggosud shampoo.
Made with all-natural coconut, jojoba, aloe. Great for healthy skin and soft, shiny coats.
But no itchy, harsh chemicals.
Lather up, rinse away.
Try Doggosuds. Buy 2, Get one free
at Dinovite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
Imagine this is you. You're working late when you get an alert on your smartphone. Your motion-activated Blink security camera picked up something at home. You pop open the Blink app and see the silhouette of a man peering through your kitchen window. You dial 911 and the police roll. The job of a home security system is to help stop crime, which is why I chose Blink. Get 3 Blink cams for way less than the other guys, plus an extra 15% off. Visit blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bill Deagle, MD, AAEM, ACAM, A4M, of NutriMedical.com, and a consultant providing email advice free on advanced protocols for your optimized wellness and advanced technologies to heal and regenerate you. You can contact us at NutriMedical.com, that's NutriMedical.com, or 888-212-8871. You get free email starter protocols of our top medical-grade nutraceuticals, initial testing, and recommendations for your own primary doctor to do, as well as recommendations to give you an idea of a consultation and a full protocol to try to help you regenerate your tissues, heal naturally without the use of toxic polypharmacy. I can send test kits to you as well anywhere in the world and provide you recommendations to referral of specialty clinics worldwide. So contact me, Dr. Bill Deagle, at NutriMedical.com. That's NutriMedical.com, or 888-212-8871.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. Physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project early movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live, final segment, this live Sunday edition. If you like what we do here on Free Talk Live, I want you to check out the AMP program at amp.freetalklive.com. There's some perks. And, well, if you like the program, you'll like the perks. Go check them out, amp.freetalklive.com. It's Mark with you.
Libertarian Banker.
And Darryl.
Let's go to Larry calling in from Evansville, Indiana. Larry, you're on Free Talk Live. Larry.
I'd like to...
Yep.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for taking my call.
You're welcome.
I'd like to address my comment or comment question.
Yep, go ahead.
To Mark, I believe you said that you should, correct me if I'm wrong. I thought you said that you thought that people should be allowed to come to the United States freely, but not be allowed to vote ever and not receive any public support. Is that correct?
Right. I would make a change to the immigration system as it exists today. And I would make the, that change would entail basically those 2 points. And I feel like that compromise really solves a lot of people's problems with immigration and illegal immigration. Go ahead, Larry.
Okay. I don't believe that would work for this reason.
Please.
Take California as an example.
Okay.
Now, with all the problems California has, because it's basically a socialist state, they allow, according to the current law, illegal immigrants to get driver's license, and that automatically then will allow them to vote.
That's not true.
That's not the way voting's worked in any place I've been, but okay.
Well, one of the requirements to vote in federal elections is that one must be a U.S. citizen.
Right. Well,
just because you have a driver's license does not mean that you are a U.S. citizen.
No, they could be stealing somebody's identity and voting that way, which that's a crime in and of itself. There.
I wonder why they would commit the crime, though. I mean,
to vote. Well,
it's like on one hand you have a felony. I'm presuming. I don't know what but I'm going to just presume. On one hand, you have at least a felony means at least a year in jail time. On the other side, you have a completely mathematically inconsequential act. So
voting.
I would never commit a crime to vote. Although I have.
I think possibly if you look into that, I think you see that's the purpose of their.
I think what that sounds like is one of those illegal immigrant scare stories. Is what that sounds like. I mean, it sounds like something that came around in an email.
Right. There are also municipalities throughout the United States, various locations that will allow.
I'll tell you this. Democrats, I'll concede this. Democrats really, really, really want immigrants to vote. You know why? Because Republicans have treated them like crap.
I believe that the Democrats really are trying to replace their voter base with illegal immigrants, and that's why.
Then Republicans should stop supporting, stop making such a big deal about illegal immigrants, who are a relatively small percentage of the population, and then you wouldn't have to worry about the Democrats recruiting them. I mean, why make it easy on them?
Yeah. Well, like I said, there are municipalities throughout the United States that allow, quote, illegal immigrants.
Then I guess those municipalities
run for office and vote in their municipal elections.
Well, no,
a municipal election
and
a federal election are two completely different things. The statement that I made was in order to vote in a federal election, one must be a United States citizen, which means that if you're not a legal immigrant, you can't just have a blanket across the board voter registration.
So I'd be very surprised
that
at
allow
this.
16-year-olds to vote in municipal elections if they're going to turn 18 before the next statewide
But
general.
how many really do? Is the question.
Very few.
Because very few people vote in municipal elections and state elections anyway.
Correct. The last municipal election that we had in Keene, New Hampshire, voter turnout was, I believe, 7%.
Yeah, but I think New Hampshire's much higher than most. I think you're talking an average of probably 5%, maybe 3% in most municipal elections in the United States. Why are you worried about this tiny little number, Larry, in cities you don't live in?
You have been watching perhaps one of
the
most performances by an American president.
Don't know.
Just your backyard very soon.
What was that?
Say that again.
About my backyard. My backyard's fine. Everything's going on good there.
That's it. Never mind what goes on any place else, as long as it's not in your backyard, right? NIMBY, is that what it is?
No, all I'm saying is if a municipality is letting people vote, and I'm presuming your premise because I don't really believe it.
How about this, Larry? How about you? Is it Larry?
Yeah.
How about you leave your neighbor alone? How about you let him do whatever the heck he wants to do?
But that's not what a municipal election is about, though.
But I'm talking about immigrants. If people want immigrants to come to this country, they should open up their doors and allow people into their house, and you should have a damn word to say about it.
I got a place. If he's willing to work, I'll let him in.
Who cares what your neighbor does? How does that harm you?
Where do we draw the line, though, Mark? You said if he's willing to work,
I made a statement. Larry, my statement was that immigrants shouldn't be able to vote, and you're like, but they will. Well, how can I say that? They shouldn't be able to commit crimes, but some of them will.
Florida man also does horrible things. Should we ban Florida man?
I lived in California. And all they do, I really have to show out there, is a driver's license and a utility bill.
All right. Well, I'm sorry. I'm glad you moved out into California. I mean, California's reaping what they sow.
California shouldn't exist. Should we ban California?
Thank you for the call, Larry. I appreciate it. Nicholas, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hello. I've got a follow-up. Basically, what he was talking about was possible problems with illegal immigration.
Great.
One thing you guys didn't mention. All right, so let's take your idea for a second. We open up basic immigration just to everybody. Okay.
Immigration open to everybody. No voting. No federal no tax money. Got it.
Yeah, like they're residents, but they're not citizens.
Yep. Second-class citizen.
But one of the problems is, all right, so if that happened, we would get basically a massive wave of immigration from
that's the
pretty
presumption.
Much every part of the world.
Well, wait a second, Nicholas. I think it's a presumption, but can I rebut that presumption before you go any further? When the United States had more porous borders in the 1960s, immigrants, especially from Central American immigrants, specifically Mexican immigrants from El Norte, they would just cross in, do the farm work, and then they'd go back home. So maybe not. One could make the same claim about Mississippi and New York City. The standard of living in New York City, the paycheck, the average income in New York City is significantly higher than it is in rural Mississippi, but we don't see everybody in rural Mississippi going to New York City.
That's true, but things were also different in the 1960s where we didn't have
but they're the same today.
Population, but we didn't have massive population booms in the third world countries where they're much more overcrowded because the standard of living, but also people were just not dying as much in third world countries, like in Africa and South America. So the populations have exploded.
There's plenty of land. I mean, the majority of the United States isn't even occupied by anybody. There is plenty of space.
I bet they'd give a free house to everybody in Detroit.
It's less about what did you say?
I bet Detroit would give them a free house.
There are a lot of empty ones in Detroit.
It's less about land and it's more about resources. But my point is,
the pie gets bigger.
There would definitely be an increase, regardless, in immigrants. Okay.
When immigrants come to this country, when you have more people come to an area, demand grows, which then grows supply, and the pie gets bigger. It's not a finite pie. We can make this pie bigger.
I understand, but that's not my point. My point is
that's what you said.
When people come.
He just keeps moving the goalposts.
Right. Okay, go ahead, Nicholas.
That's not what I meant, but I'm trying to get my point across.
Go ahead.
I thought you already have.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
All right. So when we get that increase in immigration, now there's going to be an increase. It's debatable on how big it would be, but there would be at least a significant increase.
Okay, go.
But the thing is even though they're not going to be able to vote, their children will vote. And the thing is
maybe the Republicans should stop making immigrants feel bad. Maybe the Republicans should pass this, and then they can say to every immigrant, look, we let you come here.
Or maybe the Republican Party should also cease to exist.
I'm not talking about Republicans and Democrats. So I'm talking about...
Mark is talking about Republicans.
Well, look, people vote generally for one of two parties. 99% of people vote for one or two parties, and they're all worried. And the Democrats want immigrants to come so that they'll vote and get Democrats in office. The Republicans don't want immigrants to come because they'll vote and then put Democrats in office. I mean, this is simple math here.
But what my point is when they get into the country and then they start families and they have kids, which is fine. The thing is that very quickly you're going to change the culture of the country.
What does culture mean?
So now he's worried about culture.
I wish you would have said culture when you first started your call 5 minutes ago. What is culture? Give me a definition in 10 seconds.
Culture are your values and norms that you have.
I don't share the values. I don't share your values or your norms.
Nope.
Thank you for the call. We're out of time tonight. We'll be back tomorrow, and we are always online at freetalklive.com.
It's when you're coping with bad news and the news media come calling, and they will, don't clam up. As notorious political figures find out the hard way, the cover-up can be worse than the crime. So get out in front of unfavorable news about your company, your group, or organization, or yourself. The sooner you confront a negative story, the sooner it will be over. Responding as quickly to negative stories as you do to positive ones enhances your credibility responsibility. Hiding embarrassing information or lying will do more damage than damage control. Never stonewall. Tell your side of the story, use specifics, and detail what corrective action has already been taken. Respond in kind. If the issue is emotional, don't sound like a cold, unemotional Mr. Spock. For more tips on critical communication skills for the way things are now, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
We've all heard about blockchain assets like Dogecoin, Ether, and Ripple. Bitcoin isn't the only player in the blockchain game any longer. And for those of us wondering how to get our hands on these digital assets, finally, there's a solution. Shapeshift.io allows you to buy and sell between your digital assets and Bitcoin instantly between your own digital wallets. I've used it with ease. Shapeshift.io. There's no account or email address needed. You send them the crypto you want to sell. They send back the crypto you want to buy. It's that easy. Shapeshift.io.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement